Hello, world. Welcome to another episode of the Concrete Podcast. This week's episode is round 5 with the crowd favorite, Matthew Cox. Matt Cox is a mortgage broker turned mortgage fraudster who was featured on American Greed, Dateline, and was eventually sentenced to 26 years in federal prison. During his prison bid, he began writing the true crime stories of his fellow inmates, one of which was turned into the movie War Dogs. The first podcast that we did with Matt was the story of his personal journey through the real estate business, evading the Secret Service, and eventually going to prison. It turns out he left out a lot of interesting details out of that first podcast, including how he conned his way out of paying any restitution during his entire prison bid, dealing with being in solitary confinement for weeks on end, and even experiencing the 2016 Trump election inside prison. So anyways, this conversation is packed with gems, and I hope you enjoy it. If you want to support Matt, you should go to his Patreon, which is patreon.com, patreon.com/Inside True Crime, and subscribe to his YouTube channel, which is Inside True Crime on YouTube. Both are linked below.
So, I mean, you don't, this was here the last time I was here.
What was there?
This
Was it really?
Yeah, there was, that garbage was over there on the, I mean, this
Jesus,
is
nobody
really,
cleans
honestly.
this
You're the last
fucking
podcast we've done, honestly. I haven't done a podcast since the last one. Yeah, I've been on a break. I've been dealing with a lot of bullshit, Matt.
I know.
Can't talk about it.
You want to talk about this?
Yeah, what
the
the
hell
fuck
is
is that?
Okay, so
The
this.
painting you did?
Is it?
Thanks for coming back. It's great to see you again.
Yeah, we have nothing to talk about. So
What the hell is this?
Okay, well,
What have you brought here? Is that a cutting board?
it's a cutting board.
Is it fan art?
Yes, it's fan art. Thank you.
Okay.
You didn't watch the thing?
Fan
What
art.
thing?
Bro, this guy,
No,
I get an email. I get an email from this guy who says, I forget his name too. I mean, it's like a difficult name.
It's a weird
like,
name, yeah.
Akal. He's like Russian or something.
Yeah, he's got a
Right,
YouTube
well,
channel.
Shout out to him,
Yeah,
whoever
yeah.
he
He
is.
calls himself like the troll. He trolls people. He makes
Yeah.
fun of people.
Right. Honestly,
We don't
I
have
mean,
his name to plug him on here?
No, we don't need to plug him.
Well, shout out to you.
nice
Hit the
guy.
comments.
He was not. I mean, even though the troll, he's like a nice troll though. Like he's.
Oh, is he nice?
Yeah.
Oh,
He
okay.
sent me an email and he was like, "Hey, look." He says he asked me for a photo. I don't remember that, but I'm sure he did.
Yeah.
In person?
No, it's just the email was like,
He emailed him, yeah.
Emailed me
I
saying,
gotcha.
hey, I'd love to get I watched your podcast. You on the podcast, you were great. I'd love to get I'm in Orlando. He says, I'd love to get a photograph with you. I'd like, I'd like for you. Can I get your autograph? Can you autograph one of your books for me? But he named a bunch of things, and I was like, yeah. I mean, if you want to, buy a book and send it to me,
Buy one.
and I'll sign it and mail it back. No problem. So he mails it to me. I actually went up to Philadelphia. I'm writing a biography for this lawyer. So I go up to Philadelphia for like 10, 11 days. I come back. I check my P.O. box. He mailed me my book, the book,
cool.
the Shrinker book.
Yeah.
So I sign it. I mail it back.
Bailout book, right?
Yeah, the bailout. So I sign it. I mail it back. Oh, but when I get it, this is in it. When he sent me the book,
That's in his video, right? He makes that in the
right.
video.
He makes this in the video. It's really cool.
It's it's like a cutting board.
Yeah, it is a cutting board, but
With the screenshot of the podcast.
That's
the
pretty
thumbnail
cool,
from the
bro.
podcast.
shows how he prints it. He prints it on the thing.
Yeah,
thing.
that's pretty
and
cool.
He puts a gel or a clear coat over it. He writes that with one of those ink paint sticks.
Yeah,
So
it's super cool.
yeah, and it says and because everybody mocked me
Let's
for
say
the
I
whole.
have a what?
I have a degree in
Oh,
fine arts.
fine art. Yeah.
So he does the whole hashtag. He
Yeah.
says it over and over and over again. So I thought it was funny.
Shit looks like 3D to me. It doesn't look like 3D like it's popping out.
Yeah, something's up
That's
with
super
the,
cool. People make that type of shit.
Yeah, it was really cool. Anyway, and he did this whole thing, and then whatever, 2-3 days after I mail it back to him, I sent him, hey, I mailed it back to you. 2-3 days later, I get an email from him with just a little link. I went, oh, what? Click. I'm like, oh, that was that guy. Click. Boom. It goes straight to his channel, and it's a podcast on him trolling me says it's trolling, but he was nice about it. I mean, he's making fun of me, but it's fine. It's just it's silliness.
He's got a channel just trolling you?
Just trolling
Or just
people
trolling
in
people.
general.
He just-
Actually,
I
he does
gotcha.
arm wrestling or something, right?
I don't know. I didn't pay enough attention to him. I just saw the one video.
So, really, it was just
It
funny.
was nice.
It was
Leave a
nice.
comment
it was
so we
funny.
can
He
look
wasn't a
you
jerk
up.
or anything.
Yeah, he'll leave a comment on this
Leave
video.
a comment.
Yeah. This was the thing, and I thought it was really cool. And I actually sent it to like 10 or 15 people. I'm like,
That's
look
cool.
at this. This is
That's
hilarious.
crazy, man. Is that your first piece of fan art?
Yeah.
So
yeah.
you Matt Cox is now kind of a social media sensation now.
Yeah.
Would
You're
you say
kinda-
he has a degree in fine arts too, or no?
He's super creative, man. I thought this was great. I thought it was great.
That's
So
super
what's it
cool.
like now? What, have you run into anybody in the street trying to get autographs?
No,
Have-
no. I ran into one guy at Starbucks. Like he's
Yeah.
staring at me, and I'm looking over at. All of a sudden, he comes over and sits down next to me. I look over and and he goes, "Are you Matt Cox?" And he had the podcast up. He had pulled it up.
Really?
And he goes, "Is that you?" And I was like, "Oh yeah." I
No
said, "That's
way.
me." I said, "That's the Danny's podcast." And he's like, "Man, I knew I was you. I watched the podcast." We started
that's
talking.
cool.
We talked for a couple minutes. and
Really?
That was it. I sent it to you. I was like, "This guy, you can't believe this is hilarious. This guy
That's
fucking
sick.
recognized me. It's funny."
Well, it's funny that you said that they think like people think that you're like some sort of god.
Yeah, they're leaving crazy comments.
I've
like,
seen some.
This guy's amazing. He's a genius. He's
A
And,
lot of people think you still got a lot of money
Oh yeah,
hidden somewhere, man.
he's worth millions.
Yeah.
Bro,
They think you
Drive a
got some
piece
gold
of shit
buried on
car.
the beach or something.
I'm living in my ex-girlfriend's spare room, who took pity on me. Oh, not just that. No.
Your ex-girlfriend's spare room?
Oh my God, bro. Let me tell
Yeah,
you.
you never
Oh,
told
yeah,
us
yeah.
that.
Oh yeah. Listen, okay. Look, well, first of all, she's not really she's my ex-girlfriend. But it's a stupid relationship. I was like 19 years old. She was like 20. I'm 19. We start dating. We date for a couple years, and it's a 19-year-old relationship with
She's
a
not
guy.
going to kick you out over this story, right?
Hell no.
Bro, listen. She no.
Okay.
Listen. Not after you hear this. I mean, listen. You'll realize. Oh, we've been friends forever. But
Okay.
we dated. It was a typical 19-year-old relationship with a guy, me, who works at a gym, who does nothing but work out, eat right, work out. Back then, I'm doing steroids, everything. So she's got a job. She's got an apartment. I move in with her. It's just a horrible relationship. I mean, I'm cheating. I'm doing I'm just a complete scoundrel. I mean, I'm 10 times worse. Imagine me young and good looking. Horrible relationship. And she keeps taking me back. And eventually the whole relationship ends. And then like a year or so later, we become friends, and we're really good friends ever since then. So the problem is, like, her mom comes the other day to the house. I may have to
Recently.
clear this with her. So her mother, like for Christmas,
For
like
Christmas,
the 25th.
okay. Yeah, yeah.
Is that where you had Christmas at her house?
I stayed in the spare room.
Doesn't your mom live close to here?
Yeah, but I mean, I picked her up. I brought her. I come.
Oh, you
back.
brought your mom over?
No, I went to my
fuck, we should've
sister's
brought Matt to
house.
fuck-
and
Yeah, we should have brought your mom
Christmas.
on the fucking podcast.
My mom's 90 years old. She actually is hilarious.
Is she?
Actually.
She has to be if she's related
says
to you.
all kinds of fucked up shit. You know? I mean, she's constant, and she's one of these. She's almost like a Jewish mother, but she's a Catholic. A Catholic mother is is just like a Jewish mother.
Yeah.
Can we get her?
It's the constant. Oh, you don't shave anymore.
Yeah.
So you do have any collared shirts? No, I do, Mom. You don't wear them.
yeah.
You know, it's just one ding, ding, ding.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's funny because her caretaker or her her nurse that stays with her nurse hears her make these just little stabs, and she'll look over at me
grins at you.
like did you hear that one? I caught that one.
Yeah.
Just constantly. So, but anyway, so Stacy's mom comes over the other day, has a little Christmas with her kids, and and her husband's there, and I mean, she rents out a couple rooms. Like, she's got this huge house on the lake, 2 lots. I mean, yeah, she's just got she's running a rooming house for like refugees or something.
that's pretty
like
cool.
Me and anybody who's
How much is a room?
He needs a room.
You're killing me. So, yeah. So listen, it's a nice house. So
He's not even kidding. He does.
we'll talk. She's all filled
That's
up
a-
right now.
yeah.
So I don't see the mom.
Yeah.
Like, I stay in the room because they're all doing stuff, and then when she leaves, I said, "Hey, how's your mom?" And she goes, "Well, she asked where you were." And I went, "Oh," I said, "I was actually going to go out there and be like, Mom," and joke with her. And
Yeah.
and she goes, "Yeah, that wouldn't have been good." I knew her mom's kind of irritated with me.
Yeah.
But I was like, "Oh," I said, "Well, why you say that?" And she goes, "Well, And she's still pretty upset. And I went, about what? And she goes, do you have any idea how many times I went to her and cried my eyes out because of you? She is, I mean, she's really upset with you. I was like, oh, wow, I didn't realize she was, I knew she was, she made comments like, oh, that wouldn't be, she makes comments like she doesn't like you, but I didn't realize it was like, she really is furious with me.
Yeah.
And I went, oh, well, hey, I said, if I'd known that, I would have come out and apologized. I mean, I was a jerk back then. I'm willing, I can admit that. I mean, clearly,
It's been a long time.
You made my daughter cry. You're a dick. I can go and say, look, I was a dick and I totally fucked up, but I'm all better now. I mean,
Yeah.
I was 19 for God's sakes. My problem is that while that whole thing happened, that later on that day or the next day, I said, oh, I'm doing a podcast with Danny. Like, he's like hitting the ceiling of like 300,000. He's like not breaking through. I was like, I figure we'll do a podcast and say, hey, come fucking get your guys to get some people to fucking subscribe. Let's get this guy up over 300,000. Kind of do a little podcast like, hey, fuck, subscribe, push this motherfucker over 300,000. He's got a wife and a new fucking baby. Don't be a dick.
Got bills to pay.
Yeah, come
share
on,
some
more
share the
fucking subscribers.
podcast.
Yeah. Buy a hoodie.
And there are guys on there that say stuff like, oh, you're putting all these ads on. Motherfucker, I don't work for free. This isn't your full-time gig.
Yeah.
This isn't a hobby.
Right.
You have to make money.
But those are just fucking internet trolls, though. You can't take it seriously.
But it's like I don't understand why go out of your way to be a jerk.
It's just people are upset. People are fucking pissed off.
That's the new age now.
Yeah,
people are pissed off. There's people that sitting in cubicles somewhere in the fucking office building,
miserable,
making a shitty wage, that are miserable, that fucking they just want to vent, and that's how they do it.
Right.
I honestly think that's what it is.
So
yeah, but even just people sitting at home all day with nothing else to do.
Yeah, but
they love that
this
shit.
is the second.
They love that.
This is the second coffee, by the way. So I already drank one.
Yeah, I saw that.
This is the second one.
Ooh.
He walked in here with
What's in there?
He walked in here with two venti fucking coffees.
What's in there?
It's a venti vanilla latte with like 8 raw sugars.
Matt walks
8
in here
raw
with
sugars?
8.
Bro,
No
in
espresso
each one?
shot?
I did like 4 miles today on the fucking.
Yeah,
You
but
gotta
raw
cut-
sugar's not that strong.
Raw
like
sugar's
those
just
fucking
as
sweet
bad
ones.
as
I don't
fucking
even
sugar.
drink. I don't even drink all the sugar. I only drink down to about that. When I start to feel the
crunch?
crunch.
You don't like Dunkin' Donuts?
I love Dunkin' Donuts.
They got the super crunch. They put all that sugar in the bottom.
Yeah, they do.
Oh,
That Dunkin'
my
Donuts fucking
goodness.
iced coffee. Holy shit.
So listen, I was supposed to go to Stacy's mom's. I was going to go to her mom's and apologize. She lives like
Tonight?
beforehand. So it just so happened that Stacy was like, look. First she comes in and she says, if you're going to be doing the podcast, my mom's like 5 minutes away from there. And I go, okay. And she goes, you said you wanted to apologize. And I went, oh, I said, come on, you're joking, right? She goes, do you really want to apologize? And I went, fuck, listen, Stacy, like a saint. Bro, I'm in the halfway house. I had 2 places fall through. Sure enough, 5 months, 6 months later, just before I'm getting out,
Nice.
two places fall through. Two places. Both of them I would have said for sure. Both of them fall through. I call her up and I go, "You're not going to believe this." She goes, "I got the room waiting for you."
Wow.
I knew that
might
you.
be an
I knew you
angel.
were going to end
That's
up here.
awesome.
She's awesome.
Yeah.
She helps me with everything.
Stacy's a saint. God bless you, Stacy.
Maybe if her mom's so close, we could bring her on here, do the apology live. On
do the live.
podcast.
Yeah, I think we
Nice.
should do the live apology, Matt.
So anyway, I couldn't go because her mother was having her aunt is going over there today instead of tomorrow. So I got lucky and I got out of it.
You got lucky.
I mean,
quit putting it off, man. You got to get it over
it was
with.
2 days ago.
You got to
You're probably sweating
apologize
bullets
now.
all the way here,
Call her
aren't
right
you?
now on speaker.
So anyway,
We
that's
could
what I
tap
was
her
supposed
in
to do. Thank
Bluetooth.
God it didn't work out. I'm still next time I come. Let's say if we do one next week.
Yeah. You're going to apologize.
We should
I've
bring
got-
her. You think she'd come on?
She's not gonna come. She hates me.
Why not?
I don't know. I'm really gonna have to almost ambush her. We're trying to get her to the point
Yeah.
where I can just show up because she's mad at me. You
Yeah.
know? All we need
could
is a
pay her to be
7-year-old
on here
woman.
a
So
little
what was
bit.
the total? You were gone for how many years were you in there for total?
12 and a half.
12 and
years.
a half total. Okay.
Yeah, it happens.
12 and a half years
12 and a half years.
Changes you.
between prison and halfway house and stuff. Or it was 12 and a half
Yeah,
in
12 and a
prison.
half. Yeah, well, I mean, everybody thinks the halfway house is. They're always like, oh, so you're free, you just sleep there. No,
Right.
bro, that's just another
No.
prison.
Yeah.
I was allowed to go to work and back
When you first emailed me, you were in the halfway house,
in
right?
the halfway house.
Okay.
Yeah, and it was just because I was thinking maybe we could do like a true crime podcast.
How did you
or
even
something,
find us?
You know, because my buddy Treon, who owns a gym, he owns a Cultus 24/7 Fitness.
Mm-hmm.
He used to be Frank Cultus. It was his dad's gym. So he owns these gyms. It's a boxing gym and a regular gym. It's 24 hours. So I call him and I say, hey, listen, I'm in the halfway house, and keep in mind his wife had come to see me a bunch of times. Like we've always been friends. Like I grew up with him. And I said, look, he's like, what are you doing? Where are you? I go, I'm in the halfway house. He's like, oh my God, what can I do to help you? And I go, man, I need a full-time job. And he goes, I can't pay you much, but I'll give you 40 hours a week. You can work every hour you want here. And so I was like, fuck. I mean, he was only like 3 miles away from the halfway house. So he came up the first day he comes and picks me up. He picks me up.
What were you doing?
What do you mean? I was going to work. I was in the halfway house.
I know, but you were working 40 hours a week doing what though?
Oh man, I'm cleaning.
Just at the front desk at the gym?
Nah, I wish. I'm cleaning toilets.
Oh shit.
I'm calling people. I'm taking out garbage.
Okay.
I'm fixing machines.
You're the gopher.
I'm
doing it
yeah,
all.
I'm
Gopher.
I'm doing whatever he tells me to do.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, I'm thrilled to be out of the halfway
Yeah,
house.
hell yeah.
It's not like you can go have dinner with your sister or something in the halfway house. It's like
Right.
there's no
Right.
passes. It's like, oh, they just, like 6 months before I got there, they just started letting you have cell phones. You can't have a laptop computer. I wasn't allowed to have a laptop. So I had to keep my laptop at the gym. So he picks me up, and when he picks me up and I get into his Jeep, he got this huge Jeep. So I get into the Jeep, he's got a podcast on, and it's Danny.
No way.
Yeah, it's Danny. And
On the radio?
Just audio or
He's got
video?
the audio.
I don't know. It was
not
audio.
in his phone, right?
No, it was coming through the speakers.
Yeah, he's got
in
the
his
audio
car.
going.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
posting on
He's
iTunes.
on like Apple Music or something.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah,
Podcast
Matt
or
doesn't.
whatever.
Matt doesn't.
Yeah,
fucking
bro, I don't know anything. Listen, when I bought my Jeep, when I bought my little Jeep, he drove it for like a week, right? Because I couldn't drive it. I couldn't park it there. You have to wait till you get a parking spot. So he took my Jeep. So he comes to pick me up in it one day, and he goes, man, this is a really nice little Jeep. I mean, for what you paid for it, is this all right? And I go, yeah. I said, well, I need a new radio or something. He goes, what's wrong with the radio? I go, well, it doesn't work. And he goes, and he pushes the button, and this thing slides out and goes, and it goes,
little TV
and he
or
touches it, and it boom, it starts playing. And he goes, I go, fuck, I didn't even. And he goes, oh, we got to catch you up.
That's
Which
crazy.
one was he listening to?
Was
Do
he-
you remember?
What podcast?
It was
with
one.
me?
It was one with you and Ben, and
Okay,
he says
yeah.
something
Okay.
about Ben. He's like, "You got to go on there and talk to him because this guy does real estate stuff." And I went, first of all, I said, "This guy, I just got out of prison
For
real
real
estate fraud."
That's the last person you
I
want to
go,
talk to.
well, not Ben. He was talking about with Danny.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And I was
I
saying
mean, Ben,
Danny
though,
doesn't.
yeah.
I go,
I'm not a real estate guy. Yeah.
right. I said this guy doesn't want to. Even if he didn't want to talk to me.
Right.
Hell.
I said, I'm the opposite of
You're
who
the
he wants to
opposite.
talk
Right.
to.
Yeah.
Oh.
You
Ben?
don't want me. No, you don't want me giving people advice.
Right. You know
Oh,
this,
here.
how to go to jail for fucking 26 years.
Right. Tell people. Yeah. How give advice. What would you do?
Get a new
Fucking do
social.
the wrong thing. Clearly.
Yeah.
So
but it's still a great story, obviously.
yeah. What, my story? Well,
Yeah,
the story's
fuck
good,
it.
but I'm
It
saying
turned
he
out
was
good.
telling me to go to
it's
you
way
to
better.
talk to you about real estate, and I
Yeah,
was
yeah,
saying
yeah.
no, but I said I could call. I'll bet you he could help me do some kind of a true crime podcast. And then when I called you, you said, the best way to gauge interest is for you to just come on my show. And I thought, he's fucking conning me right now.
What? How did I con you?
Just trying to-
He's trying to just get me to go on and
Right.
tell. And I was like, I'm in the halfway house, and how would I do that? And you were like, well, I don't want to get you in trouble. Wait till after the halfway house. And then I was going to try and do it when I was in the halfway house.
Oh yeah, he was gonna try to sneak. We were trying to get him on the podcast
Right.
one day while he was still in the
while I was,
halfway house.
and while I was at work. Like I could go to
You're
work
just gonna say you're
and
going
just
to work
leave.
And leave work and come
That's
do a
what everybody
podcast.
does in the halfway houses, though, right?
They get caught all the time too.
Yeah, not when it's
But
published
that's
on
what
YouTube.
everybody does.
Yeah, and he was like,
True.
I could hold it till after, and then he was like, but if I'm holding it till after,
You might as well just wait till
might as well just
after.
wait till you're done.
Yeah,
So we
right.
kept kind of putting it off and back and forth, but he kept answering questions for me. Like I was like, well, what about this? What do you do with this? How does this work? How does that work? And he kept returning my emails, and then
you're
I was
lucky.
like,
He don't return a lot
He had
of
a
emails.
very, very articulate email.
He don't return a lot of those emails.
Usually the emails are like, yo, how much for a podcast? How much for a documentary? That's the typical kind of emails I get.
Can I get on the
and I just
podcast?
reply 1 million or 2 million.
Maybe one day somebody will pay us something.
But yeah, no, Matt's email. I wish I could. I should show it. I should like display it.
I would
it
like
was
to see that.
well
yeah.
written.
It was a well-written email.
I'm sure it
Very
was.
captivating email.
I mean,
Very captivating and
I like to throw in I always like to throw in some quotes
Yeah.
from like the newspaper. The St. Petersburg Times said this, Fortune magazine said this, Bloomberg said this, and that way, by the time you get to when I start talking, you're like, fuck. fuck.
Right, you've already nailed this whole process.
Yeah, by
real
now,
estate fraud.
you're
It's
locked
just
in.
the same thing.
Yeah, but
right?
it's funny. There's a funny
You
thing
just
about
frauded Danny, basically.
about Forbes. Is like I know Forbes for a fact. I know a lot of people who pay for articles on Forbes.
Right.
You can pay to get anything fucking a Forbes article written about you. Anybody. Like there's I know.
I only had it for the one recently written.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I just know a lot of people who try to sell like their online courses. I'm not going to name who they are, but a lot of people who like they sell these online courses on how to do things like internet marketing or whatever. They're like, "Oh, look at me, I'm legit. I have an article on Forbes." The guy just paid. He paid for an article to be published on Forbes. They pay the writer. You can commission that kind of work. That's that's like a way that they make money now.
Mr. GC.
Nice.
No, different. Somebody else.
The guy Walter Pavlo, who did the one on me, he actually contacted me when I was in prison
Oh, really?
and wanted to write a story on me when I was in prison. And we went back and forth. And then when I got out, I called him, and he wrote that article. Let me think. Okay, so
Yeah, I'm not saying that you did that. I'm just saying that's
No.
that's something that a lot of people do. So
Yeah.
it's like,
No, I'm not. I don't have any money.
Right. How much do you think you got to pay to get an article in Forbes?
fuck, who knows? A couple grand maybe.
That's it?
Yeah.
Nice. Oh, I knew a guy.
$1,500
I know a
bucks.
guy
More than that.
a guy Ponzi scheme. He got like a couple $1 million, and he had gone to a publicist and gave the publicist like 40 grand. Publicist got him 40. The publicist got him into like a magazine that I'm not going to mention the magazine, but I mean it's like a solid magazine that people go to. Got an article written about him being like the youngest hedge fund, the youngest African American hedge fund. It's all bullshit. Writes this whole thing. So he takes that and he starts raising money using that article.
Yeah.
Raises like $2 million just straight
Damn.
Ponzi scheme, just complete theft. $2 million, boom.
Fuck.
Ends up in prison with me, and he's telling me the story, and I was like, "Well, I don't understand." He's like, "Yeah, they pay the reporter." It's like, "Fuck."
Fake it till you make it.
That's nuts. So what we got here? We got a bunch of funny prison stories.
Yeah, I mean, okay, so yeah, we're trying to.
So that's the kind of like the podcast today. We structured it in a way. Matt just put together a bunch of really
It's
bunch
really
of interesting stories from his experiences, and we're just gonna piece them all together and shoot the shit.
Maybe never done this before, so it may be choppy. That's fine.
No choppy, no exhibits this time, Matt.
There's no exhibit. I still need an outline. I need my
Everybody
story,
needs an outline.
Like my story, I can sit here. I got a 15-minute version. I got a 45-minute version. I got an hour and a half. I got a 2 hour. You tell me
You
how
got
long
a 2-day version.
Right.
We only
Just
got
tell
4
me.
pieces of papers today instead of
My story, I've
200.
told it 1,000 times. So
Yeah,
I know
but
it's
there's still
inside
more
and
to your
out.
story, for sure.
Oh, I left stuff out.
Oh, yeah.
And that's why I wanted an outline because, like, when I got in my car and I was leaving, I was like, oh, I didn't tell him this one story that was so funny. Actually disturbing, but it was a great story.
Disturbing?
Well, because people would be like, God, you bastard. Like, stop, don't judge me. But yeah, there were some stories that I didn't say, that I just forgot in the first podcast. So I didn't want to do that.
The very first one we did.
The very first one. I didn't want to do that again. I at least need something because
That one now has like 1.2 million views or something.
Yeah, 1 or 2.
Insane.
Yeah. Hey, I have a question.
Blowing up, Matt.
The thing says like 900,000, but then if you click on the video, it'll say like 1.2 million.
Yeah, sometimes just like it's called cache, internet cache. So like if it's on your phone or whatever, and you may have looked at it previously, it may not have refreshed that page. But if you go to the actual video and you refresh it, it'll update it to the actual view count. Sometimes when you're on
So this has been days.
Oh really?
Yeah, this is like it's been saying
sometimes YouTube does that.
It'll say
YouTube's
900,000, and yet it's like 1.1. If you look through the thing, it's almost at 1.2 million.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, well, it was been like this for fucking 3-4 days.
Yeah.
So I didn't know. I don't know if it's a thing or not.
It's pretty fucking nuts, dude. Yeah, we're about to hit 300,000 subscribers. 299,400. So 600 more to go.
Yeah, you gotta break that 300. That's that.
We were on a
threshold.
tear for a minute. we were on a fucking roll.
All right, so sorry.
Everything good, Katie?
Audio's good?
I was just looking at your screensaver.
Oh, that in case we want to like pull up any videos or anything, she can pull it up on there. We can look at it now.
No, it's not. I'm just saying the island's kind of cool looking. Okay. So,
Oh yeah.
Like Fortnite.
Yeah, it's kind of like the Fortnite island. Have you ever played Fortnite?
No, but
We need to get you a
Stacy's-
We need to get you a PlayStation.
It
Stacy's
was like
11-year-old.
Nintendo when he fucking went to prison, probably.
What was it? I had some. It was
Maybe
like
Sega.
Xbox. I had Xbox.
Did you
Oh,
really?
yeah?
Yeah, it had- and Halo 2 had just come out.
Oh,
shit,
shit!
that's
Right
not too
before you
long
went
ago
in.
then.
Right before
Did
I
you
went
ever
in.
play
That's
it?
not too
You
bad.
understand that Facebook had just come out. Like my girlfriend had just had switched from MySpace to Facebook. She's like, yeah, there's this new thing, Facebook. She's like, we're gonna get you a thing. I'm like, I'm on the run from the Secret Service.
Oh, that wasn't too bad. You didn't miss too much.
I shouldn't be doing
technology
social
then.
media.
Yeah.
It seems like a bad
Had the
idea.
first iPhone been out yet?
No, came out a few years later. I actually met a guy in prison one time, and he's sitting there telling me, he's like, yeah, he was doing something with iPhones where he was getting accounts. He'd get an account in your name, a corporate account, and then he'd go out and you would get like 8 iPhones in the corporate account, and then he'd take the phones and then he would sell them overseas. He had a whole thing on. He did like
I knew somebody who did that too.
$2-3 million over the course of like 2 years. But he's sitting there like, the way it works is, with the iPhone, and he's telling me about it, and he kept saying, how on the iPhone, I said, bro, do you understand that your crime didn't exist for years when I came into prison.
Is that a crime though, to buy iPhones in the U.S. and go resell them in like another country?
Yeah,
like
but he's buying. Yeah, of course it's fraud.
is it really?
Of course they're.
I'm not gonna fucking disclose the location. My friend.
You got to think they're financing the iPhone. So Apple's financing 8 iPhones to a corporation that isn't your corporation. They're handing them over. They do something with them, and they send them overseas, and then they give them like $250 for each iPhone, and they sell them for $500 or whatever. So this guy's
Probably
making
$1,000.
$200-$300 per iPhone that are like $1,000 iPhones.
Right.
So and he didn't pay anything other than a signature.
Oh, because he financed them.
They financed.
See, this guy this guy just bought them outright, then went and resold them in another country.
Yeah. Well, yeah, illegal.
What was the biggest difference when you got out, like technology-wise?
Oh man, everybody's walking around like this. Even
Just
I do
that
it now.
shit,
They're just
right?
walking around.
Just smartphones, right?
Yeah.
They were probably different.
Well,
Walking around on their
everything's
phone, driving around,
What,
just looking at their
Blackberries
phone.
back then, or like,
They had them. I
or
didn't
like
have one.
regular phones?
Bro, I had a flip
Before the
phone. I had the
internet.
Razor. I
Yeah,
had
the
flip
Razor.
Hell
Oh,
yeah.
that's right, the Razor.
Yeah, we talked about the
Yeah.
Razor in the podcast.
So I mean, my buddy Treon, somebody sent me something one time, and he goes, and I was like, hey, this is when I've been out for like the first week. I was at work, and I got something. I was like, I need to print this. How do I print this? He goes, here, send it to me. Well, how do I send it to you? He goes, give me your phone. He sends it to me, and he goes, okay. He goes, go ahead and get it. And I go, well, get what? He goes, I printed it. I go, he's standing right next to me. And I go,
Wirelessly,
what do you mean?
yeah.
Yeah, he just printed it at the fucking printer across the
Yeah.
room.
Dude,
I go,
Are you
how the fuck?
Are you tweeting on your Twitter account every day, or do you have somebody doing your tweets?
Why is there tweets?
Yeah, dude,
okay.
you're posting tweets like every day. Like there's Matt Cox tweets that get posted every single day. Like, how's everybody's holiday? Let's pull it up.
Is that you or a troll?
Can you
No,
pull up
it's-
Matt
it's-
Cox
it's-
Twitter?
It's John.
Okay.
There's a guy named John who said, "Bro, you don't understand how many
You
people
told me
have
you
been-
found a guy that's like running your social media.
Bro, I've had so
But
many
he's
people
doing a
come
great
out-
job. He's killing it.
He is killing it.
He's doing
He
a
is
phenomenal
awesome.
job.
You know all the videos that got set up? He put all the videos. He's like, send me this, send me that, send me that. He's doing all kinds of shit.
That's great.
I mean, I've had so many people.
Shout out to John, man. John, you're doing a
Fuck yeah.
phenomenal job.
Why, he's killing it on Twitter?
I don't think you have to sign in. Just search like Matthew Cox Twitter. Matthew B. Cox.
He did say he was going to send me all the. He was,
Probably
I'll
not
send
on
everything to you.
Before he
But
like,
he could be
puts it out
sending
there?
it to. I erase anything that comes to my phone with Twitter.
MATTHEW. This guy's running your Twitter. I thought it was you doing it.
No, I mean
he had me
he's-
fooled.
I mean, he knows I'm an idiot. He knows I don't know how really much of anything.
that's fine.
Oh, you know what's funny though?
You can
Like
close it
all of the artwork though I did.
Okay.
It's like he's like, hey, I need something for like this. I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, I'll put something together. And so what? I'm gonna talk to him and say, because I didn't think he was doing. I almost the other day was like, hey man, I thought you were gonna be doing Twitter. What's going on with? I keep getting stuff from Twitter. I keep erasing shit.
You're deleting the
Well, because
posts and
it's
shit?
posts from stuff that doesn't seem like it has anything to do with me, and I was signed up anyway.
Yeah.
And so I usually when it shows up, I just erase it. There's certain stuff like if something from Walmart shows up, erase it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know.
But that's you in the YouTube comments on the videos?
Oh yeah, that's you in the
and
YouTube.
the YouTube I figured out.
Yeah.
He's got YouTube dialed.
I got an Android, and it immediately got a virus on it.
You can get a virus on an Android?
Yeah. Well. Yeah.
iPhones don't get those.
iPhones
Apple
don't get
doesn't
them.
get that shit.
Yeah, Apple. We don't get that
so,
shit.
and they were difficult. You know, keep in mind, I didn't understand how everything worked, so I'm having a real hard time with it. And Treon was like, finally he just said, listen, man. He said, you got to get an Apple. He goes, they're like idiot proof.
Yeah.
Anybody can use one. He goes, I can use one. He goes, I can barely read.
Right.
And he said, so I was like, fuck. So I went out and I got an iPhone. Still very, almost no money.
Mm-hmm.
And got an iPhone because talked to a buddy of mine. He's like, hey, what's going on? My fucking phone's fucked up. I go, I got to get into the phone. He goes, well, how much are they? I go, they got this thing for like $400. You can get this. And he goes, okay, well, I'll have somebody send you $400. Sent me $400. This is my buddy in prison.
No.
Every time I didn't tell you this?
No.
Oh, that's why I was saying we need to do a podcast just on me setting up my website, YouTube, all that. Because every single dime of everything that I've done, from my laptop, iPhone, everything, guys in prison have sent me money. Everyone, I need $400 to buy they're like, oh, you got to set up your website. And I'm like, yeah, but it's like $100 for this, $100 for this, $100 for this.
Yeah.
I got to hire this chick to do this.
Yeah.
Hire this chick. They're like, well, how much is that? I go, it's like $800. They're like, well, he's like, okay, well, I'll get you the $800. What? I'll get you. And I go, why?
Who?
My buddy Pete Rossini in prison.
No, Rossini?
He's giving you money for this shit?
Not him. Just people in general in prison. Do you understand that the guys in prison are like, he says he walks across the fucking compound and guys are like, bro, what's going on with Matt? You heard? He's like, yeah, I haven't heard from him. And he'll go, or he'll say, he'll say, yeah, have you heard from? Yeah, I heard from him. Well, what'd he say? How's he doing? Is he trying to sell the stories yet? What's he doing with the stories? He's like, he needs to set up a website. And they're like, well, look, man, if he needs anything, let me know.
Can they get access to YouTube in there?
No,
No,
absolutely not.
never.
Not in prison?
There's no way.
Hell no.
There's no
Really?
computer.
There's a computer, but you have no access to the internet. You have a very basic email system.
Okay.
It's like if you and
That's
I.
just prison, though, because county people can get on, like, Facebook and shit on computers in there. You can have phones in there and stuff in certain prisons. Or county jails,
No,
yeah.
they-
Luke's brother had a phone in there with fucking internet.
Right now, he just went to the shoe. By the
Yeah,
way.
but somebody fucking boofed it.
Yeah,
in.
yeah. You understand that?
No, you can buy it. If
Somebody
you have
brought
enough
it in
money,
their
he said.
asshole.
It's contraband. He's
Okay.
fine contraband.
Okay.
You just got. I hope he's not in jail right now. You just got him
No,
jammed up.
we'll edit that out.
Yeah.
Maybe your PO might not
Yeah.
like if
Somebody
people in there are sending you money
brings
anyway.
it in,
We
or
could
one of the
cut that
COs
out.
bring it in.
Yeah.
COs will bring in a phone and get a phone. There's guys that have phones.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, definitely.
And then they get popped every once in a while. Everybody goes to shoe, and everybody's phone number who's on your phone. People will put phone numbers on their account where they're calling their mom.
Yeah.
And then they'll put the mom's phone. Then they'll call from that phone. Well, as soon as the cops grab the phone, they go, okay, let's start cross-referencing these.
Because you can see videos.
Jimmy talked to his mom 4 times. Throw him in the shoe. Oh, look, it's Bob Johnson.
Did you ever get thrown in the shoe?
Oh, I've been in the shoe like 3-4 times.
Really?
Yeah.
For what?
Never did anything wrong.
What is the shoe for the people listening that don't
Shoes
know?
is the hole. It's the hole.
What the fuck is a hole like?
It's fucking horrible. It's really not. Okay, look, it depends on who you are. For me, it wasn't horrible.
Yeah.
Because I although I don't read well, I don't mind reading. So you get bored enough, I'll read.
You just sit there and read.
I just read. I'm knocking out a book a day. The worst thing is
Goddamn.
banging
Well, at
on
least
the door.
the hole can't be that bad if you have a fucking access to a
No,
library.
you don't have actually. That's what I'm saying. You bang on the door. They have a little cart they bring around. You bang on the door until the cop goes. You go, books, man, give me a book, give me a book. They're like, hold on, Cox, hold on. And they'll come back with the cart maybe an hour later. They'll be like, what do you want? I'm like, you're like, oh, give me that, give me this one. They're like, hey, I got a James Patterson. Man, fuck James Patterson. He's fucking. Give me that. Give me that. You start yelling, and they'll give you 4 books, and you're like, okay, and
4.
they
Wow.
give you like 4 at a time. That's it.
Damn.
And then you got to give them back. So they're like, all right, how many? Give me the books back. I know you got books under. So you got to give them books back and shit. You got to swap them, and they'll.
So
yell.
what does the hole look like? What does the shoe look like?
It's the room in every prison's different, but in Coleman the shoe is probably it's 6 foot wide by probably 10 or 12 feet deep, and you've got a stainless steel shower in there, stainless steel toilet, stainless steel sink. So it's a sink
All in
combo.
one.
Yeah, sink toilet combo, and then a shower. Shower's hot as hell. I mean,
Really?
yeah, I mean burning, scalding hot. So you actually have to turn it on and let it run. You have to wait till everybody's like using the shower at some point, and then you can get in
So
the
it
shower.
cools off.
Yeah, it's that bad.
How many people are in the shoe at once?
Oh God, man, the shoe is massive. There'll be 100 guys, 150 guys,
in
200
a
guys.
6x12 room.
Oh,
No, that's their own.
What are you doing?
One
Oh,
person per
I
cell.
want to say, I'm like, what the fuck?
Every
Danny's
room.
super
No,
green.
you're killing me. They've got wings. It's massive. They'll put 200 guys in the shoe. So it's just massive. So you've got wings.
Okay,
you
got
got
it.
these hallways with
By
nothing but
themselves.
cells, and they're 2-man cells.
Oh, they're 2-man.
They're 2-man cells, but you don't, like me, I would be in there for like 2-3 weeks without a cellie. And then
That doesn't sound bad.
Yeah, but you never leave.
You're in there,
You're
what,
stuck
23
in
hours
there.
a
That's
day?
the fucking.
You know what
that's
time
the
it is?
kicker to it.
You know what
Okay.
time it is based on how many meals they're giving you.
Yeah.
Like by the third meal that day, you're like, oh, it must be basically around, must be about.
And
5
what,
or
you
6.
get 1 hour out of there?
Once a week, you get 1 hour.
1 hour a week
Out
out
of 7
of there.
days, you get 1 hour out of there?
Pretty much.
I thought you get 1 a day.
Oh no.
1 hour a
No,
day.
they might say that, but we're
Yeah.
talking about it's that's just
Right, they
almost,
don't fucking
never,
care.
It almost never happens. And
So
you know
how-
where you're going. You're going into a
man.
room this size that's a chain link fence. You
Mm-hmm.
can't see anything. It's straight up sky, and it's a big chain link fence, and you got nothing. So what am I gonna do? I'm gonna run in circles inside the. What am I?
At least you
Fuck
get
it,
to
just
breathe
leave me
some
my
fresh
room.
air or
I'll
something,
Yeah.
right?
Huh?
At least you get some fresh air or
I
something.
mean, I guess if you're a fan of fresh air, I think AC is
You
the
don't
best. I've been in Florida my whole life. I love AC.
Yeah.
I could never be outside. I hate outside.
They had
Bugs
AC in
and-
there?
Yeah, it's freezing cold. You burn yourself. You take a shower,
Yeah.
and I'm not complaining because other shoes are horrible from what I've
Yeah.
heard. Roaches. There's no roach problem in Coleman, which is great because I
Yeah.
hate roaches. So I know
That's
guys that.
surprising in Florida, too.
Oh yeah, yeah. But they've got look. The prison is it's clean. It's a pretty new prison. It's really the garden spot of the BOP. Most prisons are just disgusting. They're falling apart. So that shoe, although the fact is that you are separated from everyone, you can't really get visits depending on what your level is. It's not that bad. Like after 3 weeks, I remember time I was in for like 2-3 weeks, and usually they'll bang on the door. They're like, Cox, you want a cellie? They'll say, you taking cellies? And you're like, no, you're reading, no, it's freezing cold. At night, it's freezing.
They let you choose whether you want a cellie?
One sheet. That's what sucks is you don't get a pillow. You get
Right.
one sheet.
No
so
comforter.
Oh God, you're balling up your clothes to use it as a pillow. It's miserable.
And you're freezing your ass off.
Oh, of course. Or you can do it on the shower and steam the
They
whole
can't
thing.
give you a fucking hoodie.
No, they're not. They
Hell
don't give a
no.
fuck about you. They don't care about your comfort. Damn. So they'll bang on the door. You taking cellies? And you're like, no. And then after 2 weeks, it's like, yeah, bro, give me somebody. Get somebody in here.
Anything.
And then they'll put some guy in there for 2-3 days, and you guys will talk, and you'll talk like fucking 24 hours straight. You know his whole story. He knows your whole story. And then 3 days go by, and it's like they'll
You're
swap
sick of this
cells,
guy.
and I'm sick of this. And then the guy's like, all right, man, I'm gonna go, bro. And you go. Hopefully, as long as you're okay with each other, What else? So yeah, it's not. Look, it's bad. I hate to say it's not bad. It wasn't bad for my personality type.
And that
Some
prison
people
wasn't
are
necessarily that bad.
right, and some people. And keep in mind, I was at the medium. I was at the low. I actually went I actually went to the shoe at the pen. So I used to always say this. I used to say when I get out and people ask me where'd you go to prison, I can say, well, I went to Coleman. I did a little bit of time in the pen, a little bit of time in the medium, and I finished out my bid at the low. And that is true. I was in the shoe at the pen for 1 day.
At the federal pen.
The federal pen for 1 day. Terrified. I mean, listen,
That's
on
bad,
my
right?
way when they bring me into the shoe and then I'm shackled and I'm walking in, literally on my way there, I'm like, bro, I said, you can't put me in with one of these motherfuckers. And they're like, Cox, don't worry. We'll put you in a... They were so nice. The COs were so cool.
Why were they so nice to you?
Well, because they're like, he's from the low. Look at this little fella.
They knew he'd
Right.
get
They're
fucking
like,
bent over
oh
backwards.
my God, these guys are...
Right, but-
I don't appreciate that. But these guys are vicious.
Well, I mean, you would have, right?
Fuck
Right,
no.
but a lot
I
of
don't-
times those
look,
COs
who
don't
fucking-
care.
Bro,
Is there a lot of rape that goes on in those prisons?
Fuck yeah.
No, there's really...
There's
look,
gotta be.
The problem is this. People think that they're violent. There's plenty of ways to rape someone. They can just pressure you, where you think you're going to get stabbed, right? 4 guys walk in on you with fucking shanks. What do you do?
Have you seen that shit happen?
I've heard that happen.
Yeah.
Or guys, and here's the problem is there's a ton of... Matter of fact, I got a story in here. This is like the most embarrassing. I'll tell you, it's the worst. Keep in mind, there are gay guys in prison.
Right.
So you tell me, if you're some guy with a life sentence and you're prone to homosexuality, maybe on the street you wouldn't have been a homosexual, but in
Right.
prison, fuck it, I got a life sentence.
Yeah.
you're gonna, it's not like they're all macho guys. No, there's out of 1,000 guys, there's 20 gay guys, and there's 3 fucking transgenders that look like women.
Yeah, that's like Jake told us. He was like,
not rape.
there's guys in there that they're just gay in prison.
Yeah, they call it gay for the stay.
For the stay, that's what he said.
One of our friends said that some people just leave it at the gate. They say that when they leave, they leave it at the gate.
That's what they say. The guys will come to prison, pick up a Bible, and then like be in the church all the time for 4 or 5 years, and then when they leave, they basically drop the Bible back down. It's like, what were you thinking?
They need
They need to get him through. He's in jail.
Whatever it takes to get him through it. Either God or sucking dick. One of the two.
God,
maybe a little of both.
So,
maybe they could kind of go hand in hand, right?
So,
no comment.
So 24 hours. So I was there for 24 hours. But keep in mind, when I'm walking in to the pen, guys got fucking tattoos on their eyelids, their whole face is tattooed, their whole body.
So wait, let's go back to that when you're like, don't put me in with one of these motherfuckers. Cox, don't worry, we got you.
I was like, you can't put me in with one of these. And he goes, no, don't worry, you're good. So they lead me into a regular, into a fucking cell. Yeah. And the cop was like, he's like, okay, look, he said, keep in mind that at the low, the COs are dicks. Complete fucking assholes. Not all of them, but a lot of them. Like, just, you can't believe what fucking pricks these guys are. So the pen, they're like, okay, Cox, listen, here's what I got your fucking clothes right here. I got this. Here's some, here's some cleaning stuff. Don't drink it. And I was like, I'm not gonna fucking drink. He's like, you know what I'm saying.
Suicide.
Yeah, he goes, don't drink this. He said, I know you like to read. I got you about 3 or 4 books right here. If you need any other books, just bang. Don't push the button. Just bang on the door. We'll bring you as many books as you want. I don't know how long you're going to be here. If you need anything at all, let me know. I was like,
wow.
Was it just because you were so nice
Am I at
to
the
them
fucking Ritz or am I just...
Anybody I've ever talked to in prison, they've never said anything like that. Oh, the COs being that nice to them.
At the pen, the COs are extremely nice because if you're some guy who's been locked up 10 years and you're going to die in prison, and you're 6'2" and you've been working out for 10 straight fucking years, are you going to take any shit from anybody?
The CO or the prisoner?
The prisoner.
Right.
He's not taking any shit from you. Some fucking guard mouths off to him. It's like, motherfucker, I'm dying in here. You're going to disrespect me.
He has nothing to lose.
I'll beat you to fuck until they pull me off your ass. And the COs know that, so they're very respectful. So what happens is in the medium, they're a little bit more lippy. At the low, they know that you're at a low security prison.
It's people that they're in there for nonviolent crimes.
No, there's violent, but if you've worked your way down to a low, you've been behaving.
Right, so they don't want to do anything crazy, or else they're going
to push you, right?
Right, and they push you, and so some guys snap, and they maybe mouth off, or they get into an argument. They hit a cop or something. You go to the fucking. Guess what? Here you go, back to the fucking medium. Or you just take it. Yes,
because they got leverage on the prisoners there. They got a lot more leverage.
Was here earlier. He's never had a nice story to say about COs.
Who? Seth?
That guy that was here earlier. Yeah.
Well, he probably went to state prison, right?
Yeah, he did 7 or 8 years.
Right. How you figure I know that? I need to look at that dude. State prison.
Yeah.
I don't even like hearing stories about.
But shout out to Seth. He's a good fucking dude right there.
No,
they work construction together.
He's a nice guy, but I mean,
he's actually got a country music career.
Right.
In the blossoming right now.
Did you have him on your podcast?
Yeah, he was on one of the podcasts.
Yeah.
He's the guy, the country guy.
Okay, yeah.
He's a cool fucking dude.
I saw part of that. Yeah.
Yeah, he's awesome. He's got some really sick music videos on YouTube, and they got he gets shitloads of views on his music videos. He's a funny ass guy. He's awesome.
But guys would come in from state prison, and start telling their state prison stories.
Yeah.
I can't. You have to leave.
Yeah.
Why?
They don't have any funny stories.
Oh yeah.
No.
They're all vicious. They're all horrible.
That's
They're
all the stories
brutal.
he's ever told me,
right.
for sure.
Because violent guys end up in state. Very seldomly I've known murderers in prison, in federal prison, but they have federal crimes attached to them. Most people are like, oh, so you're around murderers? Not a lot. It's very seldomly do you get murders in a federal prison. Murder is a state crime. Rape is a state crime. You got all these different types of crimes that are violent crimes. They go to state prisons. So you're in there with guys that are getting into fights or are breaking in places.
But chomos were in there, right?
If you're a sex offender, and you're in the state of Florida, and let's say you have sex with an underage child, well, you're going to go to a state prison. But if you are on the computer and you're looking at a dirty picture,
Right.
federal.
Oh, okay.
You understand? So
Yeah,
you get the chosen there in the federal prison, but 99% of them looked at some pictures.
They're
of
just
some
looking at
kids,
shit online, yeah.
and they'll get 3, 6, 8, 9, 10, 12 years.
Like Jared Fogle from Subway or something.
Right, but no, well that's
God, those
right. That's
sick
no,
fucks.
Yeah, but he's fucking hands on. I mean,
Yeah,
he's all fucked
He
up.
went to the next level.
Yeah, and
sure.
the fact that the fact that he only got like 15 years or something.
Is he still in?
What
there?
exactly did he do?
I mean, first
I didn't even pay attention to it
They
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
found like a
multiple
ton
things.
of fucking child porn
Child
on his
porn,
shit.
but he's also got guys bringing him like underage girls. I mean, he's
and taking
doing some
pictures
weird
of him and shit.
Yeah, so it's state and federal, or if you're bringing a girl over state lines, federal, or a boy, whatever it is, whatever they're doing.
Right.
So you got these guys.
And where is he now?
I don't
Is he still in prison somewhere?
really keep
no.
tabs on him.
That probably wasn't 15 years ago. I don't think.
No, it
who
wasn't
knows?
15. No,
No.
that was like maybe 6 or 7 years. Guys
Yeah.
were all saying, everybody was saying, oh, he's probably going to Coleman. He's probably going to Coleman. Cox, you gonna write a
Why,
story?
he was in
Jared.
Florida?
Write the Jared story.
They were saying that there was. They said, "Oh, Subway's coming out with a new."
Why, he's a
sandwich."
Florida guy?
No. He's
Oh
not
no,
in
he's just
Florida.
shipping.
He'd be-
They would ship him there.
just because it's a high profile.
Okay.
If you're high profile, a lot of high profile guys end up in
Go to Coleman.
Right.
Gotcha.
So everybody, when that happened, they were saying that Subway was coming out with a new 6-inch, the Predator.
Oh my god.
I think I saw that.
So what was I gonna say? What are we doing?
We were talking about chomos and feds and state prison.
Oh, you were talking about like the COs that were really nice in the federal
Yeah, because
pen.
it's dangerous. Like when I
Yeah,
went
yeah.
to, I actually talk about that in here. That was one of the points I was going to get to. Is
Right.
that when I came to the low, SIS, they talk to every inmate that comes in. It's like the secret security wing of whatever, or agency within. They basically patrol the officers and inmates and drug. They're like the FBI inside. So you meet with one of them, and they sit down with you, and they say, okay, here's the way things work. And I remember the guy said, he goes, all right, listen, Cox, you just did 3-4 years. You know this. He said, in the pen, we're trying to keep the inmates from stabbing us.
Yeah.
In the medium, we're trying to keep the inmates from stabbing each other. At the low, we're trying to keep the inmates following the rules. He goes, follow the rules, you'll be fine. And I was like, oh, I'm good. He goes, all right, that was it. Well, I always thought he summed it up very nice. Even when he said it, I was almost like, really, you summed that up really nicely.
Yeah.
Because that's true. The COs are concerned about the inmates harming them in the pen, so they're respectful, they're polite.
Right.
In the medium, the guys are really fighting amongst each other. They could be a little bit more of a dick to everybody. Not much. The low, they can just be complete
They
fucking.
just want to boss you around.
They just want to push you around.
Yeah.
I was a good inmate. I basically followed the rules for the most part. Yeah. You're always doing something stupid. I'm selling certificates I'm doing the real estate class. I'm selling certificates. You don't want. You're taking the real estate class because you need to get a certificate to make your counselor happy because you're supposed to have so many certificates. Mm-hmm. But you don't really want to do anything with real estate. Nah, man. Okay, great. Go get me 2 coffees, 2 creamers from commissary. Bring it. I'll do all your tests. I'll put it in. You'll get a fucking perfect grade. You'll get your, and then come back in 2 months, 3 months.
You get busted doing
and
that?
I'll give you. That guy got questioned a bunch of times.
Oh, did you?
I was always in debt. Who would say that? I would never. I take this very seriously. I'm offended by it. I want to know who said that. That's ridiculous.
Okay, Mueller.
Yeah, because you've already
Always
nailed
get
that.
offended.
whole
I'm
thing.
always fear. I'm always. Okay, how can you say that? Stellar reputation. So.
The same thing you would do at the bank, right?
I'm not fucking leaving.
Oh my god!
Right. Call the guy on
Dying
the
to
check.
leave. Just give me my shit back.
Oh my god!
Okay. Come on, let's go through this fucking thing. I worked on this all day.
Okay.
This is
First
killing.
day. What was your first day in county jail like?
That's the
Okay,
first bullet point.
I only mentioned. I kind of just go through it real quick. I'm not real quick.
Let's go through it.
Okay.
We got a nice little synopsis here. We're gonna go through.
So
Yeah.
what? This is after court. You get sentenced. What? First day you go to county jail.
Oh
first?
no! Why not? I get sentenced. No,
Okay.
it's not like it was out on. This is when they arrest me, bring me
Okay.
straight to
And you
fucking
go
county
straight to
jail.
county, right.
You're in jail. I walk in. Guys are all. I remember guys. Everybody was staring. I walked into a room. It was actually about the size of this room, maybe a little bit longer.
Give me one of those Coronas.
This is like what, booking room?
No, this is like this is where the beds are.
Right.
I've already been booked. I walk in, and I remember all the inmates are staring at me. There's like 20 guys in a room this size, all sleeping in this room. 22 guys. I walk in, they're all staring at me, and I'm thinking, holy shit. And they're all looking at me, and the guy goes,
not even fucking
he points
cold.
up and he goes, you were just on TV. And I go, what? They were watching the news. He goes, you was just on TV. He said, he said something about in chief. He said, you steal a bunch of money from an insurance company? And somebody else goes, banks, bro. That shit banks and shit. You a gangster, motherfucker. You a gangster. I thought, holy shit. I don't know what he's saying. I mean, these guys are just, I don't hang out with
But they
these
liked
guys.
you.
Yeah, no, well, they didn't start stabbing me, which is what my concern was. When I walked in, I looked at these guys. I mean, I was like, holy shit, this is a bad situation. So I go in. First thing I do is I want to make a call. I go pick up the phone. I can't figure out how to use the phone. Punching in numbers, can't figure it out. This fucking black guy comes over to me and he goes, yo, he goes, John called Pete. I said, I'm sorry? John called Pete? I'm sorry? Pete, man. Call Pete, man. Peace. I start looking around like, I don't know what the fuck he's saying. And he's speaking English.
Right.
So this white guy comes over who's got tattoos, he's got horns and shit on his fucking forehead. And he comes over and he goes, I got this. He goes, you trying to call your people? And I go, my people?
Your peeps.
Keep in mind, I've never even heard the term people. Keep in mind, I'm not, keep in mind, I say that all the fucking time. I don't give a fuck.
You're just the epitome of white privilege.
Yeah.
You've never been around anybody of any
I've
culture.
never been around, like I've been around, you know, Spanish guys and some black guys if they're doing the roof or they're doing, you know, but I'm not, or they're educated. I haven't been around guys that are street guys.
That are street guys,
Yeah.
right?
I've never met a street guy. So the white guy comes up, he said, you trying to call your people? I go, my people? He goes, your family. Are you trying to call your family? And I was
Right.
like, oh, yeah. He goes, okay, I got this. So he helps me use the phone. I can't even use the phone. You got to push fucking 50 numbers in
Yeah.
and get a
You got to
call.
put your inmate number in, everything.
This was
right?
the beginning of a
my
long journey,
God.
Matt.
I remember talking to the white guy after it was, you know, you got nothing to do. There's one TV out of 20 guys, 15 of them are Spanish. So guess which channel you're watching? The Spanish channel.
Telemundo.
Yeah. So you're just sitting there. All we're doing is playing, you know, chess and talking. So
Right.
the guy's got horns on his head, and I went, bro. After a couple days, you seem like a normal guy. And he goes, right. I go, what's with the fucking horns on your head? He goes, you know, I came in young. I think I told you this one time. He came in. He goes, I went to a prison where guys were being killed every week. He goes, so I didn't think I was going to make it. So you just get crazy.
Yeah.
He said, then I finished my state sentence and I came here to the feds because I had a Fed bid to do. He said, now I'm going to be out in a few. And so he, he's leaving. So he's going to the feds now. And so now he's got he thought he was going to be dead in any day now. He's tattooed fucking spiral horns on his forehead. He's got all this. Now you're getting out. You're not getting a job at the bank.
Right.
So what were you thinking? You know, he thought he was going to die. So he thought
Right.
he'll never survive it.
Right.
Anyway, so you meet all these guys. So I end up, then when I eventually get transferred, I get flown to Oklahoma City. Like you get driven around in these vans and shit. It's horrible. Being transported is the worst. So you get moved around. I end up going to Oklahoma City, and is it fucking 8:40?
Yeah.
That is ridiculous.
We didn't start the podcast till 7:45.
Jesus God Almighty, we've been talking for an hour.
We're waiting on Fucko over here.
No, that had nothing to do with me.
Okay, so we're not. Are we getting through this?
I mean, we just started.
Because I'll talk like these. You saw all the guys like, I'll watch a 6-hour podcast.
Yeah,
Are
yeah.
you insane? There's like 60 or 80 guys saying, I'll watch 6 hours.
You got to go
You're
home?
captivating,
No,
Matt.
I don't have.
Danny might have to go home. That's the only
Well,
thing.
Danny's got a wife. That's.
I don't got shit. I'm off the
Danny
hook
could
tonight.
leave. Me and you could chat for a while.
I got
if
all
he
night,
leaves.
Matt.
Okay, so anyway, I get transferred. I fly around. I eventually end up back at Coleman.
Mm-hmm.
I get sentenced. I go to Coleman. When I go to Coleman, they send me to the medium first because I had so much time. I had 26 years, so you got 20 years left. You're just done. You know, you can't. I couldn't really send me to a pen. I can't go to a low. I go to the medium. I go straight into the housing unit where I'm supposed to go. I meet my cellie. I think I mentioned this. Remember I tell you that I meet my cellie, and then I walk back out, and then they start screaming lockdown.
Oh, yeah,
lockdown.
someone got
Right,
stabbed up.
Somebody got stabbed in the yard.
Yeah.
So he's like, you got to get in here.
He's got stabbed up a little
Yeah,
bit.
yeah. He was like, oh, I said, somebody died? And he's like, no, they got stabbed up a little bit.
First day.
Yeah, just stabbed them up a little bit.
That's the same thing Tampa Tony told us when he went to prison for the first day. Somebody got stabbed out
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, that's, you know, it's a bad situation.
Yeah, it can't be a good situation. I'm getting stabbed up a little bit.
You just got poked a little bit, right?
Yeah, just got.
He
a little
survived,
bit.
right?
I don't know.
Who knows?
Who knows? I'm sure he's fine. You know how many guys I've met? Listen, like 90% of the guys that meet him have bullet holes. They've all been shot. Everybody's been stabbed.
Everybody.
It's just ridiculous. So I mean, you get the mindset there is there's so much mental health issues. They got a whole wing just for guys with mental health issues, bipolar. They've got guys there was a guy named Mr. Freeze who had narcolepsy. Where you fall asleep right. What happens?
Mr. Freeze.
They called him Mr. Freeze because he had narcolepsy, and narcolepsy apparently, like he would be walking across the compound
And just fall asleep.
Yeah, but he wouldn't fall. He would, if he was sitting down, he'd fall down. He would walk and he'd suddenly just stop, and he'd just sit there for like a minute or two, and then he'd go,
just blank out,
and he'd start walking again. And they called him Mr. Freeze. Guys that were in the unit with him, they said he would be sitting in a chair watching TV, and all of a sudden he'd go, and he'd fall out of the chair and hit the ground, boom, and lay there for a minute or two, and guys would just look over, and he'd get up, get back in his chair. You tell me hitting the ground didn't wake you up?
Holy shit, dude.
So, you know how he ended up in the feds?
How?
He got some for theft or something, whatever, something stupid. He ends up going into to state prison in Florida. Well, there's no AC. So he's there, and his cellie, and he's complaining about how hot it is, and he goes, "Oh, you want AC? You got to go to federal prison." He goes, "Well, how do I get to federal prison?" And he goes, "Oh man, you could do anything. You just got to commit a federal crime, and you'll do all your state time in federal prison." Yeah, he goes, "Yeah." He said, "Well, what's a federal crime?" He goes, "You could threaten the president." So he writes a letter to Bush. So at the time, he writes a letter to Bush, and he says he's going to kill Bush and his entire family, and he's going to rape the dog.
Wow.
just throws a little sprinkle on top.
Yeah. Go ahead. And so
For good measure.
Secret Service come, they question him. He says, "Yeah, I wrote the thing." They bring him back to court, gets in front of the court. The lawyer explains to the judge, "Listen, the guy he's practically retarded." I mean, seriously. I mean, he had issues, and he's like, "Your Honor, this is what his cellie had told him. It's not." And the judge goes, "Yeah, but he wrote the letter." These judges, they got no sympathy.
care,
And he's
right?
like, "Yeah, but he wrote the letter." He's like, "He's not even capable of getting himself to Washington, let alone harming the president. It's ridiculous." He goes, "Yeah, but he wrote the letter. He was in it." And this is what I was told that he said, that the judge said, he goes, "The fact that he wanted to rape the dog is disturbing to me." He goes, he said, "I'm going to give him what he wants, though."
That was the golden ticket of the letter.
He is going to federal prison. Right after you finish your state prison stint, you're gonna get 7 years in the feds. That's why he was in the feds.
Hey, angle your mic a little bit up more.
Oh,
Just a little bit straight up more.
like that?
Like this.
That?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Perfect.
Okay. So,
That's hilarious.
ridiculous.
Dude.
This is not so horrible.
So is that how he got the Mr. Freeze, or because
No, Mr. Freeze was because he
Falling asleep.
actually no, 'cause
it
he would
works.
stop.
It works, right?
Yeah, he did get the AC.
He got the AC, so it's Mr. Freeze.
And then they had another guy named Itchy. Itchy was a black guy who had hair that he never combed. It was just like a rock. And Itchy was schizophrenic. Itchy, you have all
Like
these
an afro?
like an afro, but it's just like rocks. Like he never walked. Like it was
Yeah.
like hard. If they don't, they got to pick it out and stuff.
Yeah. It just gets knotted up. It's like a big
like homeless
dreadlock.
guy. He's like a homeless guy in
Yeah.
prison.
Yeah.
And they have all these walkways. Itchy would walk right across the grass. Look, if I walked across the grass, I'm going to shoe. Itchy would walk right across the grass, and the cops would be like, "Itchy, Itchy, Itchy," and he'd go, "Rah, rah, rah." And he had a catchphrase, which was, "I still want my dick sucked." So the cops would yell at him, and they'd be like, "Itchy, come here," and he'd walk over. "What? And they go, "Told you not to walk across. Now you go down the sidewalk," and he'd go, all right," and he'd go, "Fine." He'd start walking off. He'd go, "I still want my dick sucked," and they'd be like, "Itchy." I mean, it happened. He was crazy. He'd walk up and start yelling at guys to give him coffee. They knew he was crazy.
How old was this guy?
Oh, he had to be in his 40s or 50s.
Jesus.
So I was at the time I was taking a Paxil, and I was taking Paxil, and I was in.
Paxil is what?
It's for depression and social anxiety. So I have social anxiety. I don't like large crowds. I'm in prison.
You're in prison.
Right. So I'm really
Bad case scenario.
Imagine that.
It's a bad situation, and I'm suffer from depression. So not good. So I'm in what they call pill line. Mm-hmm. So I'm standing in pill line one day, and Itchy just walks right across the grass. Everybody's screaming at him. He walks right in the front of the thing. Everybody backs up. Like they're all like, "Oh!" He walks straight to the front line, gets his pills, takes his pills, and walks right back to the unit. Never really left the unit much. except to go get pills. Well, there's this guy going, man, that guy's fucking crazy. And there was this new guy who had just come to prison, and he got like 5 or 6 years. I don't even know why he was in the medium. He probably shouldn't have even been there. And I looked at him and I went, bro, I said, he goes, man, that guy's, he's messed up. He's like a homeless guy. He's all fucked up. And then I go, bro, that guy right there? Keep in mind, most of your time is spent trying to entertain yourself. So you do stuff you would
stay busy.
Stay busy to keep yourself entertained, find things that are funny or interesting, read books, whatever. So I'm sitting there and I go, that guy? I go, bro, that guy used to own banks in the Cayman Islands. And he goes, are you serious? And I went, yeah, bro. I said he was on like the cover of like Forbes magazine, and he had a fucking
Itchy
jets, and yeah, I said he owned like 10 banks. He was laundering money. I go, that dude's a fucking genius.
That's
and he goes,
fucking itchy.
And he goes, well, he's crazy. I said, well, bro, some people. This guy was complaining about how much time he got, like 4 years or 5 years, and I go, well, some people can't handle the time, and they just snap. And he was like, fuck. So I was just fucking with him, right? You know, trying to, because he's already been. He's like, I don't think I can do all this time. I got like 4 years. It's like 4 years. Shut up, man. Don't even talk to me. So you turned yourself in. You know how many guys I know that turn themselves in? They got like 10, 15 years and turn themselves in. You got 15 years and you turned yourself. Run.
Yeah.
Give it a shot. You already got your time. I can't even talk to that guy. So this guy's complaining. So anyway, I tell him, a couple days later, I'm in the chow hall, and I'm sitting at a table with a couple guys, and Itchy walks up, grabs his fucking meal, and walks off and sits down at a table. I mean, like, Itchy was so nasty and disgusting.
No one sat by him.
He'd sit at a table, everybody would get up and move.
Yeah.
Because he's like, you know. So, and he didn't wait in line. So that he gets his food, sits down, and another guy I don't know is telling another guy, saying, "Bro, that guy owned like 50 fucking banks. He's worth $1 billion."
The story
was like he was on the cover of Fortune, Forbes,
wow,
the private jets, and I'm like, holy
so someone took your story and just
like
fucking
they
added to
just
it.
run with it.
It's crazy.
That's amazing.
Yeah, that is it. It's hilarious. So, and when we were talking,
what was Itchy actually in for? Did you already say that?
I have no idea.
Who knows?
He's probably crackhead and was in some conspiracy. You'd be shocked. There's every once in a while there's some crackhead that's like, how did you even commit a federal crime? And it's like, well, he happened to be one of 30 guys on a conspiracy. He's the lowest man on the top. He's the guy that is running back and forth, and the DEA comes in, and guess what? You just got a federal crime. Should be a state crime, but the DEA was investigating the top dogs, and your name's one of the many. They know you'll cooperate.
What did I want to ask you about? Depression. Oh, yeah. You said you were taking depression meds in there. Are there a lot of people that commit suicide in prison? Is that a regular thing? Is that like a concern? Like the guy was like, don't drink the liquid.
Probably in the pen, there's a lot more like mutilation. Guys will cut their fucking dicks off. They'll,
what?
Oh, yeah, that's something.
Did Jeffrey Epstein commit suicide?
Did you know I'm getting people that are saying that in the comments? That
Really?
are like, you need to investigate Epstein's.
You should.
Okay.
Was he murdered?
Anyway, so
We don't even want to touch on that one.
so there's
Hey, look. That prison's gnarly looking. It's a fucking tower. That prison that he was in, the Metropolitan Prison in New York.
yeah, most prisons are.
Not Coleman. Coleman's like this long,
Coleman's
flat.
nice, plenty of space. It's a decent prison.
Yeah.
Anybody that goes to Coleman and complains, they're just.
How many prisons are like that prison that Epstein was in, where it's just like a fucking tower?
I don't know. I don't know how
He
many.
was rich. He was in rich people prison, right?
Who?
No, that was not a rich
No,
people
no,
prison. No.
No, not this time. His first bid, he barely did any time at all. Like he had to stay at the prison like 5 days a week or something, just sleep there.
Really?
Ridiculous. Yeah. His first time
Right,
he got
you
in
could come
trouble.
in during like the week and leave on the weekends, or vice versa.
No, on the weekend he had to stay there.
Yeah.
But during the week he was allowed to leave
get
at like
out.
7 or 8 in the morning and come back at 7 or 8 at night. He got to work. He only really slept there during the week. And then
I
during
didn't
the
know that was a
weekend-
thing.
No, it's
Oh,
not a
yeah.
thing. He had such an
Okay.
overwhelming amount of money and legal talent that they made this sweetheart deal. And of course he gets out and starts doing it again. He's got a sickness.
Yeah.
Instead of saying, "Hey, I got a pass. I need to go fly straight." It just
Come in on the
emboldened him.
weekend.
So, okay, so the prison. As far you mean the pill line thing, like the pills.
Yeah,
like
no,
people
I don't
killing
know. I was
themselves?
asking about suicide, and that led just right into the Epstein.
Yeah, it's fucking bro. There's lots of people on pills.
Do you think Epstein really killed himself?
I have no idea. What are you doing?
What would you guess? I don't know. I want to talk about it.
It's a hot topic out there.
It's a hot topic. It's relevant, Matt. This is a good clip. This is a YouTube clip.
This is a
viral clip.
I barely read anything about Epstein.
You didn't?
Yeah, no, of course not. I saw the news. There was a couple of articles. They're questioning it. Nobody knows. The guard was there. He had threatened suicide.
What do you think?
Do you think Hillary could have
What
paid
do I
off the
think?
guards
I think
to fucking
he
kill
killed
him?
himself.
You really did?
Really?
Yes, of
You
course.
think the cameras just randomly malfunctioned
They
in
malfunction.
there?
Half them cameras don't fucking work, bro. You understand? You know that the
Yeah, but
towers.
he's high profile.
You know the
don't
towers.
Think they make sure them cameras are working, man. When Jeffrey Epstein
No, I
goes
think
in
that
there,
the place is run by idiots. Nobody gets to the top of their field
the cameras
and
always
ends up
fucked
working at the BOP. Nobody. How
Right.
the cameras are never working. You know how understaffed they are? Do you know that all the pins have towers, right? Nobody's in them. Nobody stays in
So
these
you don't
towers.
Really?
Yeah, they've
you
been
don't
empty
think
for
he
like
was murdered?
10 years.
Holy shit.
No, I don't think he was murdered. Hey, maybe he was. I don't know.
Yeah, but they
Who
said his
knows?
neck was like severe. I don't know. I didn't pay enough attention, but they said his neck was literally fucking
We'll never know.
snapped.
We're not going to solve it. We're not going to solve it.
Matt, you might be able to solve it.
Matt, if there's anyone
there's
who can
anybody
solve
that
this,
can
it's
solve it,
fucking
you
you,
could probably
man.
solve it.
I don't think so.
Did
No,
you
we
read?
don't-
Did you
we
see
don't
what
need
happened to
those
his
people
neck? Did you
tracking
look?
us
Did you
down.
look into what happened to his neck? How
No,
the
I
bone?
didn't. But I'm sure I could order his autopsy report.
Yeah.
You know how many guys autopsy?
would
report?
probably
Can we
be a
just do a
bad
whole
idea.
podcast on Epstein?
You would have to order a Freedom of Information Act.
No.
You'd have to.
How
get
much
his-
would that cost?
We don't need those people showing up
cost
here.
anything. It's free. It's basically free.
Okay.
The only time I've ever been denied the Freedom of Information Act is Frank Amadeo. CIA, like everybody was like, no national security. They would.
And you don't think they'll
give
do
us
that for
a-
Epstein? They got to.
No, because why? It was a.
But they
it's
say
a
he had
hot-
dirt on
I mean,
everybody.
Yeah, but if they're saying it was a suicide, then the autopsy report and the suicide report and the blood, whatever, where they test his blood, all that's public records. I mean, you can
Right.
get all that.
Okay.
So you
But
just,
of course they're going to say that, right?
what? Well, I mean, if they've done it right, it's all doctored anyway.
Right.
You're never gonna know. Even if the real killer came out and admitted it right now, there's so much stuff that points away from it, they'd never believe him. It'd just be another conspiracy. You'd never.
Somebody
go
in there
anywhere.
has an arts degree that
some
forged the
fine
paperwork.
some guy with a fine arts degree dummied up everything.
Right, the whole paperwork.
Holy shit.
Oh my god.
That's gonna be a good clip.
Oh my god, it's ridiculous. You know what I was thinking about when you talked about the depression medication?
Yeah.
Is that they changed providers at one point for the depression medication?
Could you imagine being the fucking pill company that sells to the prisons?
To the prison bureau? Well, they,
my God.
Wow, they're printing
The same
money.
ones that fucking they
Well-
probably right out of Florida.
there's certain rules that like they have to pay top dollar, like the
The prisons do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't get great. Anyway, they go through like what is it? PIOs or IPO? What are those?
An IPO?
No, for the fucking
No.
the HMOs or something. Not HMOs. What am I doing? Basically,
Like insurance?
yeah, for your medical. Yeah.
Right.
So it's not like they're just giving them.
So not all inmates can get them. They have to have they have to pay for insurance.
no, basically
You just got to
the
qualify
prison.
for it, right?
No, you're getting whatever you're supposed to get. They just have some kind of different insurance carriers in the prison system where they're providing insurance.
It's
for
where all your
different
tax
inmates.
dollars are going, Danny.
So they switched providers. This is what I was told. Who fucking knows with these guys?
So not all inmates can get medication at the
Yeah,
prison.
of course they can.
Okay.
Get it. Of course,
Okay.
all of them.
Okay, so the prisons have to buy the insurance. The prisons
Yeah.
have insurance. They cover the whole prison.
Yeah, you don't make any money.
Got it. Okay, I
You
got
don't
it.
make any money there.
Yeah, but your fucking relatives can pay for it, right?
no,
Your mom can't give you commissary that pays for your pills and shit.
No.
they wouldn't allow that because that would mean that the rich people are getting better care than the poor people.
Right. Okay.
You got to go see the
Everything's-
nurse
listen,
the
it's
whole
the
night.
great-
That's why I ask these questions
It's the
because I don't know the
great
answers. That's how I learn.
It's the great equalizer.
Okay.
You could be fucking a multi-millionaire. You're sleeping on the top bunk.
Got it.
Doesn't I don't give a shit. I've been here
the
2
great
years.
equalizer.
Fuck you. I mean, I'm a grade 1 and I'm making $60 a month, and you come in and you're doing the same job, but you just got here. You're making $15 a month. You know what I'm saying? Trust me. There's just very little. You can maybe put money on other people's books, which you're not allowed to do, and you can get somebody to maybe clean your room, do your laundry, make your life a little bit easier, but it ain't gonna be much easier. The best it could be is still shit.
Yeah.
Right.
So
Still locked up.
So they changed providers.
Yeah, they changed providers and so they switched me from Paxil to like Wellbutrin. Wellbutrin, I didn't like it. It made me feel weird. And then I switched to.
Did Adderall in there?
Then they switched me to something else. They switched me to another thing. Then they switched me to like Zoloft or something. I tried to take that, and I felt like I couldn't follow conversation. So this went on for like 3 months. Finally, I just said, you know what, fuck it, I'm not going to take it anymore. I'm just going to see what happens.
Yeah.
And then I've been dealing with it ever since then. I was telling Stacy.
Are you still taking those meds?
I don't take anything.
That's good.
You don't
You
take
shouldn't.
anything
That's
now.
just bullshit.
No,
That's
taking
just
it
so
forever.
fucking
Yeah,
bad
but-
for you.
Yeah, but here's the difference. Where before, when I was taking Paxil, everything was okay. I'm okay.
Yeah.
Everything's good. My house burned down. Oh man, that's horrible. I hope nobody was hurt.
Yeah.
I mean, just didn't affect me. Everybody
Yeah.
used to say nothing bothers you. You don't, and I didn't
Just
obsess
like a
about
zombie
anything.
or something.
Right, because I wasn't a zombie, but it levels you off. I felt okay.
Yeah. Mhm.
And now, this is what I'm saying. Now the difference is, I wake up at 5 in the morning. My alarm goes off, but I don't get out of bed till about 5:15, 5:20, because I spend about 15 or 20 minutes telling myself it's going to be okay. Keep in mind, now I'm in prison. When I was in prison, it was 10 times worse. I would lay in bed and I'd go, oh my God, I'm still in prison. I'd be like, it's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. And, you know, I would lay in bed. And my first thought was, honestly, how much dental floss do I have to buy to weave a rope to kill myself in the bathroom at 2 o'clock in the morning? Because that's when you can do it. There's a pole over the handicap stall that's high enough that you could actually hang yourself and you'd be done. That's the only real spot to do it. I mean,
Holy
it is
shit.
that bad in the mornings. So I would be like,
Yeah.
how much dental floss do I have to buy? And I would sit there and I go, what do you do? It's not rational. What are you thinking? And I was like, I can't do this. I can't do that. And you just go over it in your head and go over it. And then I'd say, just get some coffee. It's okay. It's okay. It's going to be okay. It's going to get some coffee. Just get some coffee. So I'd get myself out of bed and I'd just go, just get some coffee. You can always do this. Just get your coffee. Get some coffee. And then you feel a little bit better. And it's like, I can't do this. I can't do this. And I think, no, I got to meet so-and-so today. I'd get dressed and then I'd go to the library. I'd work with somebody or I'd write something. And then by the time recall came around where they call you back to the unit at 10 o'clock, I'd be like, it's okay, you can do it, you can get through the day, And this is just the conversations going in my while I'm talking to you, this is what's going on in the back of my head. You can do this, you can do this, you can do this, you can do this. It's going to be okay, it's going to stop thinking like that, stop thinking it's not rational. And so by the time lunch comes, I'm eating lunch, it's okay, this is good, they got apple pie, I like apple pie, you're fine. Tonight they're going to have fried chicken, they make good fried chicken here, it's good, it's okay. By 2 or 3 o'clock, you're like, I feel okay. I can do this. I'm okay.
Mm-hmm.
By 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock when I'm eating, I'm like, it's good. You're locked up with some good guys. You like Greg. Greg's a cool guy. Jimmy's all right. He always makes me laugh. You know, by 8 o'clock, they got the movie on tonight. It's good. Oh, I love that movie. It's James Bond. It's great. By 9 o'clock, you're thinking things are going good. I got this in the courts. This is happening. So-and-so's doing this. I might be able to make it out. By 10 o'clock, I'm kicking ass. I'm getting out of this fucking place. I'm going to fucking hit the streets. I'm going to write these fucking stories. Everything's going to be fucking amazing. I'm going to sell fucking options. I'm going to fucking kick ass. I'm going to be driving a fucking Ferrari. I'm going to be dating a 22-year-old
You're
fucking
like fucking
extrovert.
Wolf of Wall
I'm going to be
Street.
fucking amazing when I get out.
They're gonna buy or they're gonna fucking die.
And by the next morning,
It's the same
how
shit.
much fucking dental floss do I have to buy?
Every day.
This went on the whole fucking time. And I was telling Stacy the other day about it. And she
It's
goes,
exhausting.
well, but you don't think that anymore. And I went, oh, I still lay in bed till 5:15, 5:20, telling myself, it's okay. I'm not thinking about getting dental floss. I'm thinking, does Stacy have a gun in the house? They wouldn't let her. I know she doesn't have a. Just for a brief second.
But
Listen, I got to see a psychiatrist, right? Mm-hmm. They got
a lot of people see psychiatrists. I mean, that's a normal thing
I got
now.
a court-ordered fucking
But
psychiatrist.
I'm saying a lot of really successful people use psychiatrists now as like a weekly ritual. That's because it's good for your mental health. Like it's okay now to talk about. Like people do
It's
that.
popular
and
now.
It's a lot more popular now.
I mean, yeah. Well, mine's court-ordered. So, yeah. So, anyway,
But it's good. Like it's good for you. You should do it even if it wasn't court ordered.
I guess.
Do you do
I've
it
heard-
now or no?
No, I have to
he
do
has
it.
to
It's
do it.
court
Oh, you
ordered.
do? See a psychiatrist?
Fuck yeah, bro. Listen, if I could get to that story on here, you can't believe how
It's cool to see
I
you
shot
shrink.
myself. It was not cool. I got to drive to fucking Brandon.
Yeah.
She's not going to help me. She thinks they think they're going to fucking help me. I'm 50 years old. I'm fucked up. I mean, it's over. And I'm not trying. So it's all, I'm all fucking jammed up. But like I shot myself in the foot with this fucking psychiatrist, bro. Like I'm done now. Like I bet you for the next 5 years I'm going to this psychiatrist. They're not letting me out.
Because you're supposed to
It's
tell
good
them
for you, though.
what they want to hear, not what you're actually.
It doesn't feel good to go there. What do you talk about?
I already know you told that story,
Yeah,
and I read it on
told
here,
that
and
story,
I remember. I'm like, you should have never told him that, man.
Fuck,
You
what a
can't
fucking
tell him
idiot.
that.
I totally was
Yeah,
just like, what
come on, man.
I didn't know that. But how am I supposed to know it's going to, keep in mind, you're going through the
You
process. Well, yeah, now I know. So, anyway, so that was the, here's the thing. I wrote this whole fucking thing. We're just shooting the shit. This is ridiculous. This is all bad.
One so far.
No. Oh my god.
Because it's ADD, we don't have to follow any kind of story.
Oh my god. It's ridiculous.
No, but what I was gonna say is, I thought people with your type of with your personality type, the narcissist, sociopathic personality type,
They just don't.
They don't want. They're not going to kill themselves.
No,
They're self-preserving personality.
That's why it's very brief. It
Right.
doesn't last the whole day.
Right.
I mean, it's like it gets better right away. Within 10 minutes, 5-10 minutes, and it was horrible in prison initially. It wasn't until I started writing and feeling good about myself again that it was really wasn't. It was still bad, but it wasn't that bad.
Right.
Keep in mind,
the writing really helped it.
oh fucking the writing, it gave me purpose.
Right. It gave you
It didn't matter. I was achieving something. It's all that mattered was that's the worst thing about prison for me is that the worst thing for prison for me was that I wasn't achieving anything. Mm-hmm. I don't really have a family that I'm kept away from. Like if you're married with 3 kids and you get a year, you're gonna do harder time than I'll do in 10 years if I have nobody on the street. I knew a guy one time, he got arrested. He'd already done like state time one time. He did like 3-4 years. He's dating this girl. He gets jammed up. He's going to have to do 5 years. He's going to do the drug program. He said, I'll be out in about 3 years, maybe 2.5 to 3 years. First thing he did was, as soon as he had to turn himself in, his girlfriend drives him to drop him off. He tells her, we're done. She's like, what? He goes, I know you think you're going to write me letters and this, but it's over. I'm not calling you. I'm not writing you. We're over. It's over. I'm sorry. I love you. Find somebody else.
He didn't want to have to deal with that when he was in there.
Because he'd been through it before, and he said
Yeah.
it made my time so hard. Because you end up being the guy that's calling on Friday night and she's not answering, and so the next day
Yeah.
you're calling. You're like, where were you?
Right.
What the fuck are you?
It's torture, right?
It's torture.
It's fucking torture.
Right. Better off just don't call.
Yeah.
Know she's with someone else. He's like, look, when I get out, if you're available, that's great. Listen. The real reason I knew that was he was getting 2-3 letters a day. He's getting mail. They're calling his name 3 times. She's sending pictures of them. She's writing letters. This went on for like 2-3 weeks while I was locked up with the guy. Then I got transferred to another prison. This was when I was I was jumping. You're bumped from one prison to another, or to jails.
Yeah.
While they're trying to move you to where you want.
Yeah. No, what I wanted to say about the depression stuff, I think it's interesting how you found your way through the depression through finding a purpose in life. You found your purpose and your calling, and like you wanted to write stories. You had a like fucking goal. You were passionate about it.
Right.
That got you through the fucking shit. You didn't need the depression pills anymore. I think a lot of people leaving YouTube comments have that same fucking problem.
I mean, maybe.
A lot of people in the country, they don't have that. They don't have something. They don't have a purpose.
No, they have their job, and
right, and they're
home,
fucking
they get to watch, and they get to make mean comments on fucking
right. And they're
YouTube
unhappy, and they're fucking
trolls.
unhappy.
Yeah, well, you got to me, you got to have. I got to have purpose. I got to be doing something. I got to be creating something.
Everybody. I mean, most people do.
Yeah, I would think, but you'd be shocked how many people are just happy going to their job and their purpose is just getting through life. To me, it's just keeping
well, a lot of
myself
people,
entertained.
a lot of people, like a lot of women,
people
like
do.
a lot of like my wife. She just wants to fucking raise a kid and raise her family, and she wants
That's her
to.
purpose.
That's her purpose. That makes her happy. A lot of people.
Right, that'd be nice. You could wake up every day, not go to work, and fucking
Yeah.
chill out at the house.
I wouldn't want to be a mom.
It ain't easy, right?
Yeah, it ain't easy.
That ain't fucking easy.
No.
That's a hard fucking
That's
work.
a tough. Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, it's nice to.
I feel like my job's a cakewalk compared to doing that.
Yeah,
like,
no,
holy shit.
no. But here's the problem is because you're not designed like that.
Your job's a
You see what I'm
cakewalk
saying?
compared to
It's like you're-
99 other people.
You know what I mean? It's like you're not set up like I mean I know like Stacy. She loves to make food. She loves to
Yeah.
make sure, is everything okay? Do you need
Right.
this? You know, have you guys eaten? She loves to be like a mom. She's
Right,
a mom to
right.
everybody.
Same thing with my
And
wife.
to me, it's like, you know, if somebody's like, "Hey, I'm hungry," oh, go get yourself something to fucking eat. What are you telling me for? You know, I'm not feeding you. I'm not making your food. I'm not. Are you nuts? She would.
Right.
Anybody walk in and be like, "I'm kind of hungry." Oh my gosh, I just made this. Do you need this?
Yeah, there's a Wawa down the street.
Yeah. Yeah, that's crazy. So
It's
that's just some
different
people
for
are like
women,
that.
though.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. For women,
For
they're
women,
like
it's
they're designed
different.
like they like their motherly.
Some of them are.
Some of them, not all. You
What's
know?
the worst thing you saw in prison? We talked about that, didn't
Well,
we?
you know what I was going to say? Going to tell you, which is, it was this one, which is actually probably detrimental to me.
What was detrimental to you?
You page 1?
Yeah, but comical. It's comical only because I really hope this doesn't come back on me. Is that when I first got locked up, like everybody, you know, people in the comments have mentioned this. They're like, you know, does he have to pay back those money he owes, the
Oh,
$6
yeah.
million? I'm like,
Oh,
fuck
yeah.
it.
When
And
you
I'm like,
convinced them about the restitution, right?
yeah, well, yeah, exactly. So I got locked up. While you're locked up, you say you owe $5 million.
Well, I don't even know what restitution means.
Restitution is like how much money are your victims out?
Say you stole money or
stole
or
$10 million.
scammed people out of money.
Yeah, you
gotta
owe
pay
$10
that money
million.
back.
Right. And here's the worst part is that, let's say you have 10 different co-defendants and everybody got $600,000. So you think, okay, everybody owes $600,000. They don't do it like that.
No,
they
they
say,
add it up, right?
you owe $6 million. Every one of you owes $6 million. You're all paying until it's paid off.
Right.
You're like, wait,
Because
what if,
nobody
what
actually
if fucking
pays, right?
Danny never pays a fucking dime?
Right.
Well, then you're going to pay the $6 million. And you think that's unfair. And they go, well, fucking tough shit. You don't have the same rights as a normal citizen anymore.
Yeah.
We can be unfair to you.
Yeah.
You owe $6 million, and everybody's going to pay in until it's all paid off. We're not going to divvy it up. But I got $5 million and he got $2 million. You know, doesn't matter. You're all paying. So what ends up happening is I ended up having all these co-defendants that didn't get charged. There's like 15, 16 co-defendants on my on my indictment that didn't get indicted. They got indicted, but they never got charged. They never went through. I end up with the $6 million. So I owe $6 million. Well, so and so got 500,000. So and so got 300. So and so got $1 million.
Yeah.
How are you hitting me with the whole $6? Well, you're fucked. You're just fucked. And at the time when you take your plea, you're so desperate to try and get a good deal. I'm not going to complain about money at this
Right.
point. But as soon as you go to trial, as soon as you go into prison, first thing they do when you meet your counselor is they say, okay, well, you have to pay every month or every quarter. You have to pay. Here's how much money you get in, and here's our calculation. So you're going to be paying $25 every month.
Right.
Or $50 a quarter
Towards the restitution.
towards your restitution. You're like, $50 towards my $6 million. And how am I going to pay this? Well, I don't know. You're going to have to get a job. And you go, well, I have a job. I make $12 a month. So I make $12 a month
In prison.
and you want to hit me every quarter for $50 a quarter. That's everything I made.
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah, I know. I mean, I could maybe lower it to 25. What the fuck are you talking about? I'm supposed to work 40 hours a week?
For
And at the
nothing.
end of the month, I'm supposed to get $6? Yeah. You're like, that's ridiculous.
Wow.
What if I need to buy toothpaste? What if I need to buy, deodorant? What if you need to buy fucking dandruff shampoo or nail clippers? Not to mention shower slides. Or any type of hygiene, so you're just
Right.
you're just
Basic
fucked.
hygiene. You can't even afford that.
You're just fucked. You can use the state stuff. That they don't give you shower slides.
Yeah.
Guys are
You're going
giving.
there
What's
barefoot.
amazing is the amount of charity that the other inmates give one another. Hey, bro, I saw you don't have shower slides. I got an extra pair.
Yeah.
You can use them till you get some from commissary. And you're like, man, thank you. You get them. You go get them, you bring them back, no problem. They'll say, hey, I got some soups, I got this. So you get there and guys are like, here's some soup, here's this, here's that. The Mexicans are the best.
Really?
One Mexican comes in, all of them come in. They'll walk in, they'll have a bag of shit for the other Mexicans. They take care of each other.
That's cool.
So what ends up happening is the first time I go to my counselor, I go into my counselor's office and I walk in. I mean, keep in mind, I'm fucking beat. I mean, I got 26 years, bro. I'm just depressed as fuck all.
Your world's crushed.
Furious, angry, bitter. Get in there, and Miss Smalls, was it Miss Smalls? No, Miss Bates was my very first counselor, and she says, okay, she goes through everything. Yeah, you got to get a job. You got to start doing this, start doing that, blah, blah, blah. Okay. I'm like, all right. She's like, and you got to pay restitution. And I went, well, what? No, I don't have to pay restitution. She goes, yeah, I'll put you on. She goes, you don't have very much money in right now, so I'm going to hit you for $25 a quarter initially. She says, then we'll bump it up once you'll have a job. You'll probably get bumped up. And I went, no. I said, I'm not paying restitution. She goes, no, you have to pay restitution. She goes, if you don't pay restitution, you can't go to commissary. You can't use the phone. They start doing all this shit where you're basically trapped in there. You have no way to do anything.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I just got 26 years, and these motherfuckers are going to cut you off completely from everything. And you're like, and I went, no, I'm not saying I won't pay. I'm saying I don't have to pay. She goes, what do you mean? I said, well, my lawyer made the argument that, one, I didn't have to pay the interest on the $6 million, nor did I have to start making payments until I was released from prison. And she goes, I've never seen that before. I said, well, it was a new judge, and she said she was going to try it out, and that was one of the only arguments she won. So I remember specifically because she was happy about it, and I remember thinking, big deal. I said, but I'm glad she won it. And she looks down and she goes, okay, well, I don't have your file in yet, so I'm going to check, and I'll check your judgment commitment to see if you have to pay it or not. I said, I know I don't have to pay it. I said, I can get my transcripts, and I'll show you I don't have to pay it. She says, okay, well, I'll wait till I get the judgment commitment, and I'll check it out. I said, okay. So she goes, I'll call you in next week, or I'll take a look at it, and we'll talk next week. Okay, so she dies.
Oh,
Miss
my
Bates died
God.
a few weeks later.
What are the odds?
She died. So I go in, 3, 4, 5 months later, she dies. And she wasn't that old. She was like 50-something. But she's out there smoking all the time. Like, she's literally goes in, does something, comes out, smokes 2 cigarettes, goes in. I mean, it was ridiculous. She reeked of nicotine. And to be honest, I think it may have been several months later. So it was several months. She never called me in. And I think it was several months later she died. So then a few months later, because it was a couple months later, my next team, they call it team. You have to go every 6 months to team. So you go in, and I go in, and they're like, hey, my name's Mr. Garcia. I'm your new case manager, or no, your new counselor. And you go in, there's multiple people there. There's a case manager, there's a unit manager, there's a counselor. And I go, okay. And they go, okay, Cox, we noticed that you're not paying your restitution. I went, right. I said, yeah, I don't have to. And they go, what do you mean you don't have to? I said, no. I said, I explained the whole thing, how my lawyer had won. That's complete bullshit, by the way.
You made it up.
I made it up. Complete fucking lie. But I mean, I don't want to pay. I have no money, and I don't want them to fucking jam me up.
You're selling it.
Yeah. So I said, no, this and this. And they go, okay. I said, Miss Bates checked it out. And they go, okay, keep in mind, my file's right here. But this is the great thing about the laziness. The same way I got the kids' social security numbers issued and all that shit.
The laziness of government workers.
The laziness. It's your file is right here. Open the file. I'm like, bro, you can check right now. I said, look at my judgment commitment. I don't have to.
I dare you to check it.
Yeah, he goes, no, I'll check it out. I'll let you know. I said, okay. So we get up and leave. So there's 3 of them there. None of them can check the file. I get up and leave. 6 months later, I come back. Hey, Cox, I know you've been here a year. You're not paying your judgment. I said, now it's new people. And I go, don't you remember last time I said, I told you about that I don't have to pay the judgment commitment. I said, you checked it out. I said, don't you remember? And one of the fucking guys there goes, oh, that's right. I remember him talking about that. They're like, yeah. I said, remember Miss Bates checked it out, and I don't have to pay. I said, you were here. I said, remember we looked at the judgment commitment? And he goes, yeah, I do remember that. That's right. Wow. Yeah, he doesn't have to pay. Oh, okay. That counselor gets moved. A new counselor comes in. Next team, same thing. Boom, shit. I hit him again. Okay, well, I'll check it out. I'll call you next week. I'm like, okay, no problem. Next, this goes on for 3 years. They then move me to the low. I get there. I got a guy named my counselor Smith, fat guy. What a prick, this guy. I mean, I already told you how the guards get meaner and meaner as you go down. I go and I sit down. And he goes, okay, so you got what? You got, holy shit. He goes, you got 26 years? He goes, your nuts are going to be hanging down by your knees by the time you get out. He goes, you ain't going to see pussy for fucking another, it's like 20 years.
He said to you?
And I'm going, the fuck is this fat piece of shit. And I'm looking at him going,
How long are you in for at this point?
I've already done 4 years.
Right, okay.
I still got 20 years to go. I got moved to the low because I was now below 20. So I'm at like 19 years and 10 months.
Yeah.
And I'm like, holy shit. I mean, just brutal. So, he said, he's like, yeah, hey, what's up with this restitution? And I went, he goes, you're not paying your restitution? He goes, why aren't you on, they call it FRP refusal, where they shut down all your accounts. You can't buy phone minutes. You can't do all kinds of shit.
Can't do anything.
Right. So, and he's like, why aren't you on refusal? I said, I don't have to pay. And he goes, no, well, you have to. I said, no. I said, I explained how we won the argument. I don't have to pay. He goes, I've never seen that. I said, well, what do you think happened? I said, do you think that for the past 4 years,
right?
I said, I've been scamming these people and not have to pay. I said, I've had four counselors look at it, case managers, I said, and a unit managers, I said, are all looking at it. I said, I don't have to pay. I go, check it out. And he goes, I will, I'll let you know. So then a few days later, I have to go to see my unit manager. No, my case manager. I go into my case manager. She's mean as a snake. My name was Jenkins. So Miss Jenkins, remember she said, after reading your, and keep in mind I'm still irritated. I've been irritated for about 5 years now and depressed for 4 years now. So remember she looked at my what's called my PSI, and she looks at it, she goes, after looking at your PSI and all this crime, they even had another packet to my PSI. It's like 50 pages. It's like, this is your PSI, and we got a fucking supplement. It's so big. There's so much fraud. She goes, makes me want to hide my wallet. And I go, why? and she goes, I go, why? She goes, for my credit. She goes, to hide my credit cards.
My Soch.
I go, I've never stolen anybody's credit cards. And I go, I'll take your house. Like that. And she goes, well, I think they should have strung you up by the flagpole. I go, well, thank God you're not in charge of that. What are we doing? And she's like, well, I don't know who you were talking to. So we're bickering. She goes, why aren't you paying your restitution? Just then my counselor walks in. And I go, ask him. I said, he checked the file. I said, I don't have to. I said, and she goes, why isn't he paying his restitution? I said, you saw my judgment commitment? He goes, yeah, I looked at judgment commitment. He goes, he doesn't have to pay. He said, it's weird. I've never seen it before. But he fucking total lied. He never looked at shit, because I know for a fact it doesn't say that.
Right, because you lied about it.
I've been lying the whole time.
You just put him on the spot.
And yeah, what's he going to say? It's been a week and I haven't looked.
I'm
a lazy shit. No, he can't say that.
Oh my
God, I said, you
dude.
saw it. I said, he saw it. I said, I mean, what do you guys think? And she goes,
you just exploited their laziness.
Right. And he goes, yeah. He said, yeah, he doesn't have to pay. He doesn't have to pay. He said, he hadn't paid in 4 years, like that. He said, yeah. He said, and I said, can you mark my file or something? Because I have this conversation every 6 months. She goes, I'll make a note. This guy retires 2 years later. Next counselor comes in. I know he's going to catch. His name's Counselor Carey. He is a stickler. He's a total bureaucrat. He's pulling guys in left and right, redoing their FRP. Guys are walking out of his office screaming about how he's raising their FRP. And I'm just waiting.
This guy's going to cut your head off.
Never said
No, she's got it in the system.
It's in the system.
Oh, you got so fucking lucky.
Next person.
Oh,
I got so
God.
fucking lucky. I didn't get caught until I was in RDAP. Literally, we're talking about a year before.
What the fuck is RDAP?
The drug program. They catch it at Grand Prairie, which is like, okay, sorry. They
Which
catch
is
it
how
like
many years later?
Like, fucking like there was like. I mean, I never paid. I made 2 payments the whole time I was there.
Yeah.
Why? Why'd you even make 2?
I only made 2 because they caught it. And I was in RDAP and I was going to get kicked out of RDAP. So I said, look. So when the guy brings me in, he's like, look, man, we can't take the year off you, or we can't keep you in the program
Unless you pay something.
unless you start paying. He goes, now, Cox. He goes, you get in about $300. Keep in mind, understand. I've sold an option at this point. Remember the option money where I was a part of that
for
option.
War Dogs?
No, not for War Dogs. For Generation Oxy got sold. And I got a piece of the option.
Okay.
So I'm getting money sent in $300-400 a month, and I'm typing. I'm writing these books and everything. So I'm getting money sent in. So I'm $200-300 a month coming in.
Nice.
So he's like, so you're getting a bunch of money coming in. You can pay $100 a month. $100 a month? Right. And I'm like, so he's like, look. So we start arguing. He wants like 150. I get him down to like 100, and I say, listen, let's do this. I'll do it, but give me some time. You know what? This is the guy. And I told him this. Listen. This is so fucked up. This lets you know their mentality.
Did you just turn the light on? That fucking
see
bulb's
that?
fucked up.
Oh, you should see me. Did I tell you that I got a short in my radio? I hit my dash and my radio comes on. I feel like Fonzie.
Oh,
That's
wow.
crazy.
So he says, so he's sitting there and I go, whoa. I said, my mother sends me money out of her Social Security stipend every month. She gets $1,100. Complete lie. I go, $1,100. I go, and she sends me $300. I go, so the question I'm asking you is, I go, you're telling me you want my mother to pay $150 towards my restitution every month? And he goes, that's exactly what I'm telling you. Tell your mother to pay $150 a month. And I went, well, okay, I'll.
All right, then.
This guy is heartless.
He's not cutting no breaks.
So I said, bro, you've got to at least hold it off for 3 months. I said, give me some time. I mean, and he's like, okay, we'll do it in like October or something. So then I knew by October I would be able to get out of the program. And so like the day before, I transferred all my money out and put it on like different, like I bought True Links, I bought phone minute, I bought everything I could. So when the 150 came, bam, it completely bounced. There's no money in the account.
There's nothing in
Nice.
Fucking furious, bro. They're furious at me. Call me in. What are you doing? And I was like, I mean, there's nothing you can do. I said, no, you can't go to commissary. I said, no, but I've known this is coming. I loaded up on commissary.
there. You already
And they're
ordered
like-
everything.
They're like, what are you in a 2-man cell? Because they'll pull you out of a 2-man cell and stick you in the fishbowl. I go, I'm already in the fishbowl. And they were like,
What the fuck's a fishbowl?
oh, it's a fucking room about half this size with like 12 guys in it.
Damn.
It's just bunk beds.
Were you really in that or no?
No, I was, because I'd gone out of RDAP, so you go in there first. So it's like I'm already in the fishbowl. I already have commissary. You can shut my commissary off. There's nothing you can do.
Where do you keep your shit?
Oh, and you got a locker that's like 18 inches deep by maybe 2 feet wide by 3 feet tall.
Okay.
Your whole life is in there.
Okay.
And then you have like a legal locker. So I would have a legal locker.
Oh, separate locker for
Yeah,
like
it's just-
for like transcript court shit.
Right. It's half the size of your regular locker. So, unless you're like Rossini. Rossini's
Oh,
got
yeah,
like
then you got a whole
20 some
room.
odd boxes of fucking shit they're curious about. Or Deveroli. Deveroli rented people. He had people go out and get legal lockers and rented them. So go there, tell them you want a legal locker. Like he had like 4 or 5 legal lockers. He's just paying you to rent the locker to keep his stuff in. And he had boxes under his bed.
Fucking Deveroli.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So here's what I wanted to tell you. This is. I was at the Medium. This is like Triano say. What was the fucking worst thing you seen? What was the worst? I said, the worst thing I saw. I said, well, I was at the Medium, and he goes, yeah. What was it? I said, there were a lot of people at the Medium that had life sentences. So you got some black guy who's 6'2" who's got a life sentence, worked his way down from the pen. He works out all the time. He looks like he's on steroids. He's just a genetic freak.
Yeah.
And they're half the guys there look like that. They're just massive.
Yeah.
They're hard as a rock. I mean, they look like tree stump. They're like.
Right.
So I'm in the library, which in the Medium's empty all the time. None of these guys go in the library. So I'd go in there and I'd write or whatever. So I'm in there one day, and this I'm gonna say punk, because that's what they call them there, a gay guy or a transgender or whatever. So
You call them punks?
punks. So there's a punk in there, probably 5'10", thin braided long hair. Listen, looks from the outside, clothed, a woman. Flipping through a Glamour magazine or something, like a Cosmo or something, legs crossed, flipping. I mean, just ridiculous. So, I'm sitting there, and he's over there, and this guy walks in the library, and I'm just sitting there doing whatever I'm doing. There's like 5 or 6 guys in the library. It holds like 30 people. There's like 5 or 6 of us, and I'm sitting there, and this guy walks in that has never been in the library. He walks in, and you're like, holy shit, look at that guy. He's massive. He didn't leave the rec yard. So, you walk, and he walks in, he walks right up to the punk, and he goes, can I talk to you outside? And the punk just flips the magazine. Guy looks around and goes, baby, please. Baby, can I please talk to you outside, please? And I was like, the fuck did he just say?
Baby,
He
please.
just say, baby,
Oh
please.
my God.
Baby, please. And the punk goes, I don't like the way you talk to me in front of your friends. And he goes, He looks around. Everybody's like looking down. He's like,
with that same accent.
Oh yeah, with the
twang.
I don't like the way you talk to in front of your friends. And trust me, I've been mocking. I've been doing the accent the whole ever since I saw it. I've told this story. I don't like the way
straight out of that Prison Break fucking show.
Fucking horrible. So and I just the guy's looking around and everybody's looking like you're staring at him. He look over at you, you look away, and he's like, baby, please. Baby, please talk to me outside. Please, baby, please. And you're like, this is the most humiliating thing I've ever seen.
Oh, my God.
They have a little tiff. Finally, the punk gets up and goes to walk outside. While they're walking outside, he goes to put his hand on the guy's arm. And he goes, oh! Just like a woman would do. And he goes, oh! He goes, baby, please. It was so humiliating. Goes outside. 5 minutes later, the punk comes sashaying back in, sits down. The big guy comes back in, walks over, and he's like, baby, please talk to you outside. Please, I'm sorry, baby. It was the most fucking pathetic thing I've ever seen in my entire life. I felt horrible for that guy.
Wow.
I mean,
right,
he broke up with him?
To talk to her for obviously sexual reasons, right?
He's probably what they call a war daddy. He's protecting the punk. That's his girlfriend. Mm-hmm. He obviously said something fucked up in front of his friends. The punk's upset. Bro, it's a relationship.
Right.
Yeah.
Of course. It's a whole thing.
Wow.
It was, I was just like, this is so bad. It was
goddamn, dude.
Horrible. How did you get there?
I was like, I can't.
I was just on a yacht a few years ago. Yeah. How the fuck did I get here in the library? This fucked up library.
How is this my life?
Oh my God.
I was on a yacht in Italy. What the fuck, dude?
Oh my God. It's horrible.
That's how it changes, right?
Damn, dude.
But, the mindset.
What a crazy life.
It is. The mindset in there is so fucked up. I mean, let me tell you, you get so desensitized. There's so much violence, and people are fighting. And of course, I'm not involved in it, but you see it everywhere.
Right.
Like I was in the rec yard one day, right? I'm standing there, waiting because there's like a funnel point, so everybody's piled up and waiting. And there was this guy standing right here. Did I tell you this? Guy standing right here. His head's right here. Another guy, a Mexican guy, comes running up. He's got a sock. Well, not a sock. He's got his belt wrapped around his thing, and it's through a lock.
Yeah.
Like, let me put it right. If I had a lock and a sock, if I had a belt and a lock right here, you guys are done.
Oh, it's fucking. Oh yeah.
I mean, you guys you'd be grabbing stuff, and there's stuff to grab here. There's nothing there. Nothing. You've got nothing to grab, nowhere to go. This guy runs up, and the lock swings right by my head and hits this guy in the skull. Wah! The guy falls. Boom! The guy hits him again. Boom! He stumbles. He hits him again, hits him again, hits him again, until he falls down. He stumbles. He starts to try and stand up again, hits him again. Why are you standing up? Anyway, you know what I'm saying? Just lay down. The guy's not hit. This happened. I'm sitting there, and my first thought was, did I get fucking blood on me?
Yeah.
No.
Not this poor guy. I need to jump in.
Bashed in.
You don't jump in.
Hell
you jump in.
no.
You go to the fucking shoe.
Right.
You walk away. Like, if there's a fight, guys don't pile around and watch. They start walking. Guards will come in and swarm around everybody and just start grabbing. You. And there 15 guys go to the shoe. I happen to be playing guitar next to the fight. So, this guy's bleeding so bad, he actually tries to leave. And one of the COs sees how much he's bleeding and realizes, whoa. He had a white shirt on that was completely like dark red. Just filthy dark red from the blood. Your skull bleeds so much.
Yeah.
It's amazing how much your skull will bleed compared to any other part of your body.
Mm-hmm.
So it turned out that guy got beat up over a punk. So later on, like, let's say, whatever, at another time, I'm sitting there, and this is like I said, this is how fucked up you are. You get, is that I remember one time they're screaming, lockdown. Somebody had gotten stabbed in the yard. There's a guy, a white guy. There's not a lot in the medium. Like, literally, we're talking about like 1,600 guys. There's maybe 50 white guys, and 40 of them are there for meth, with no teeth. I mean, who am I going to talk to?
So you can't link up with those guys.
I'm not talking. I got nothing in common with these guys.
Right.
They make statements like, that motherfucker's a goddamn genius.
Yeah.
Best meth I ever had.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, Christ. Christ, what am I going to talk to this guy
Right, you
about?
can't link up with those guys.
Right. So this guy comes down one day. They're screaming, lockdown, lockdown. He comes running up to me and he says, bro, somebody just got stabbed. He goes, you know, my cellie just got stabbed in the fucking rec yard. I go, your fucking cellie did? And he goes, I go, that's Timmy? And they go, they're screaming, get in your cells, and we're having this conversation, people are running around. I go, so Timmy just got stabbed? And he goes, yeah. I go, so you're saying there's a 2-man room available? And he goes, exactly. He goes, put in your fucking thing right now. I fill out a cop out and run and put it under the door and then run back to my fucking cell while the cops are screaming at us to get in.
Holy shit.
Timmy's done.
Free room. Hell yeah.
2-man room. Got to get out of the 3-man room.
Every man for himself.
It's fucking vicious.
Wow.
Vicious. Where was the fucking microwave one day? So we're heating something up and a fucking shank this big fell. It was taped up on the thing and it just went bing and fell. I went, whoa. I look over at the guy I'm with and he goes, kicks it under the door, goes over and tells one of the Mexican guys, he goes, fucking shank just fell. And they're like, oh shit. 5 of them walk over there like a wall and one guy jumps down, grabs the shank and takes off. I mean, it's just ridiculous.
And which one is this in the medium
that
or
was the medium?
The medium.
Like when I went to at 20, when I went to the low, you know, it's a different atmosphere. What's so funny is, like at the medium, I never had any problems. The only problem, the closest I even came to a problem, was I was slamming my door. The doors are thick and heavy. Yeah. So I'm walking out and just, I walk out and close the door, and it would, I let it go, and even though it didn't slam, because it's so heavy, it does go. It's even if it's moving slow and it hits it.
It's loud.
So my next door neighbor one day comes to me and he goes, "Hey Cox," and I'm like, I don't talk to anybody. I have nothing to talk to you guys about. Mm-hmm. I talked to maybe 3 people in the whole compound. So the guy comes over and he goes, "Cox, can I talk to you?" And I was like, "Yeah, do I know you?" He goes, "Yeah, I'm your next door neighbor." I went, "In the unit?" "Yeah." And I went, "Oh, okay, man. I'm sorry, bro. I don't know." He's been my next door neighbor for like 9 months. Yeah. I have no idea. So and he goes, "Listen, I'm taking anger management." And I thought, no conversation starts well. There's no good conversation starts off on taking anger management. And I thought, okay. He goes, "You've been slamming the door. Man, I don't know if you're doing it on purpose. And I'm bipolar. And I feel like maybe you are. I don't." And he starts having a little fucking meltdown. I'm like, whoa. I said, "Bro, if I'm slamming the door and it bothers you, I apologize. That's totally my fault. My bad. I'm going to take care of that. I'm not slamming that door no more. That was my bad, and I apologize for that." I mean, this guy would kill me.
Really?
And I'm like,
big ass dude.
How big do you? If you're 5'8", you're a big guy.
Yeah, true.
I'm 5'6". It doesn't matter. It could, him and 4 of his buddies. It's over.
Right. It don't matter.
So that was. I mean, literally, the problem was, I didn't stop slamming the door. I slammed it like for the next week or two. My cellie comes to me
on
and goes,
purpose.
No, I just forgot. I'm just not thinking.
I'm walking
out of my cell. I'm going to work.
Loud, right?
I'm going to. I teach GED to a bunch of retards.
Yeah.
I mean, I teach listen, I'm teaching prison GED, and I'm teaching what's called the skills class. Mm. These are the guys that have taken the GED, taken so many hours, they can't pass the GED. They give them a pass if they can pass the skills class. So I'm teaching 40-year-old men and 30-year-old and 20-year-old men how to count change.
Basic math.
Yeah. They can't do it. And you go, I don't understand. You know all the words to Tupac's and Dog Chain and all these songs, and you can tell me how much money this guy made. You can tell me the stats for all of these football teams and everything, but you don't know that a quarter, a dime, and a nickel is 40 cents. And they're like, "Man, I don't need to know all that shit. I'm going back to sell drugs, man." I'm like, yeah, but don't you? But you have to count your money. My hoe count my money. My bitch count my money, yo. And I'm like, yeah, but what if your bitch counts the money wrong? I put that pipe on her, she count that shit right. You're like,
that pipe.
Holy shit. Fucking whore. I mean, that's
my
that's
God.
What you're doing. Keep in mind too, by this point, I've been engrossed in this whole thing.
Right.
One of the worst moments I had was I talked about when I went to the low. Remember when the guy said, you trying to call you peeps? Yeah. I didn't know what the hell he's saying. I'm standing behind these 2 black guys. I hate to use the black guys as the examples, you know what I'm saying? But it's like 80% of the population, mm-hmm. and they're urban guys, Mm-hmm. And I am a typical, white, middle class white guy. So
Right.
I mean, so and they're calling you cracker and all this.
Yeah,
stuff. So, but I'm sitting behind these two black guys, and I'm sitting there, and the one guy, they're talking about their case, and the one guy goes, "Man, how you fall, man?" He goes, "Shit, nigga got a nigga fucked up over 2 doves and a stack." Know what I'm saying? And I thought, I do know what he's saying. Oh my God, I know exactly what he. Do you know what he said?
That's when you realize you're like,
Yeah.
I've been in here too long.
Yeah.
Think about what he said.
2 doves.
Nigga got a nigga fucked up over 2 doves and a stack.
$1,000
That's
bucks.
$1,000.
$1,000
What's a dove?
kilo.
2 kilos
over
of
2
cocaine,
keys,
right?
2
White
keys and
birds.
$1,000.
Two
Yeah.
birds.
Birds. Yeah, birds.
Oh, Georgia.
Nice.
Oh,
Nice.
Ooh.
Yeah. I mean, I'm like,
Or we call them chickens.
when I listen, he said that, I was like, oh, I've got to get out of here. I have to get out of here. I know exactly what you're saying. I was.
I know
like,
exactly what they're saying. I'd be great in prison. We listen to like Gucci
but
Mane.
You
We
would not
listen-
be great in
Listen,
prison.
I would be
that's
able to.
for sure.
I would be able to communicate very well.
Yeah,
I know that. I know that lingo. I listen to.
They
a lot
might
of
braid
fucking-
Danny's hair up the first day in there.
you got to shave your scalp so the
Yeah.
so the wig, so the mop wig fits.
Bullshit.
Just right.
I'd be fucking in with him, bro. I'd be cool. I wouldn't be no punk.
Listen, that's the whole thing. That the whole punk thing. It's just not true. It's like, it's not that it's not true. It's that look. I don't know what it is like at other places. At Coleman, it's not true. You know what I'm saying? There's too many gay guys.
Yeah.
And whatever.
Yeah.
It's too available. There's too many guys doing stuff.
Are there any gay prison guards?
Probably well, there's lots of the lesbian prison guards. You don't necessarily know the gay prison guards.
Because obviously in the women's prisons, like the prison guards can get away with like sexual assault on the prisoners because they're
Right.
women or whatever. I'm wondering if there's any like dude prison guards.
Only thing I know of is one time we were. I know this guy's got 20 years. I'm not going to use the name because they're still locked up. It's fucked up. And he would be humiliated.
They don't have YouTube in there, do they?
No, but the guards do.
Oh, okay.
Keep in mind,
And Matt's
my
PO
probate,
does
my
too.
PO,
Matt's PO
my
does.
PO said not
Yeah,
only
that's
does she
what I was
watch
gonna
this
say,
podcast,
man.
but multiple people watch the podcast.
Hi to Matt's PO.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Oh no, he definitely.
Nice to
don't wanna
meet
put
you.
That in there.
I know you guys all
And
watch the
she's very
podcast.
nice.
Thank
She's
you so
very
much.
nice.
Tell
I'm
your
sure
friends
she's
to
a great-
subscribe.
I'm sure she's
Subscribe.
great.
Yeah, we're trying to break
Leave
300,000.
leave a comment.
So, we had a guy one time, a CO who's a new CO. He'd just been transferred. He calls this other guy in to the office. He walks by. He goes, "Hey, older white guy." He calls this other white guy with an inmate into his office. He goes, "Hey, how long you been here?" He goes, "I've been here a while. Been here about 3 years. About 3 years." Getting called into CO's office is not good. Mm-hmm. It's like, guy, you walk out, guys like, "What you all talk about?" Like, are you telling on people? Are
Right,
you?
you're
Why are you
snitching
in?
or something.
Why are you?
Yeah.
So he's like, "I've been here about 3 years." And he goes, "Yeah." He said, "How old are you?" He's like, about 60. He's like, whatever his age was. He's like, and the CO was probably in his probably early 60s. He's yeah. He goes, "Well, you work out. You look like you're in pretty good shape." He's like, I work out. He's like, "Yeah, I work out." He's like, "Yeah. And he said, at that point, I started going, "What the fuck is going on?
Just hitting on him.
This guy's fucking
sizing
checking
him
me
up.
out."
Yeah.
So he said it got to the point where they're having a conversation, and then he said, out of the blue, the CO says, if you're in prison and you have sex with another man, it doesn't make you gay. And he goes, "Yeah, it does." he goes, "No, it doesn't. It doesn't. I mean, you're in prison, and people do things in prison they wouldn't normally do." He goes, "Not me. Not me." He said, "Look, I got to go." And he walks off. So he comes and tells me, and I go, "Holy shit." He's like, "Yeah, I don't feel good about that." No, what the fuck?
Oh God.
And I looked at him, I went, "Fuck." So then I talked to my buddy Pete
Rossini?
So we're down there, and I go, "Tell him what happened." He goes, "Man, listen to this shit." So he tells us all. It's me, Pete, and some other guy, and we're talking. And so Pete looks at me, and we're all looking at each other, and I go, "Honestly, that may be your get out of jail free card."
Oh fuck
Right.
you.
And he goes,
Ticket.
and he goes,
Oh fuck.
he goes, "What do you mean?"
You guys are fucking
He goes,
evil.
"What do you mean?" And I went, "I'm just saying, don't be so quick to turn this
hell
guy
no.
down." And he goes, "Hey, fuck you." I go, "Well, I'm just saying, look, what's the big deal?" I said, "You give him a reach around." And Pete goes, "Save the sample." And so he's like, quit fucking around. Quit fucking. Bro, you got a lot of time. Shit's not looking good. Your case ain't going well. You're going to do that whole fucking 20 bit. You understand? I said, I'm just saying, what's the big deal?
And what's he say?
Nobody's going to say anything. I'm not going to judge you because I won't judge you. I mean, he's just furious and like fucking, you fucking assholes.
If you could blow the prison guard for save 10 years of your life, would you do it?
I'll do the time.
Would you really?
Are you fucking serious?
I don't know.
Fuck yeah, ain't blowing no motherfucker, bro. Hell to the no.
You know how many guys?
I might jack a dude off for 10 years.
You know,
blowing blow job, that's bad. I don't know if I definitely fucking wouldn't do that.
10 years.
To give a fucking prison guard, to jack off a prison guard to save 10 years of your life, you wouldn't do it?
I'd rather kill myself.
You wouldn't
bro.
jack
Life's
a dude
short
off.
Anyway.
Do you know
Fuck
how many
that.
times
Hell to the no.
in prison
You'd be
you've had
lucky
this
if I make it
conversation?
to 50 anyway.
There'll be
Fuck
some
that.
big fat,
Brother Jeffrey Epstein.
And the guy that's
woman
like
guard.
him saying he'd rather kill himself, that's the real gay guy.
Hell
Well,
to the
there'd be like
crazy
this
as fuck.
hideous looking female prison guards, and guys would be like, would
Danny's
you?
never even spent
3
a day
years
in county.
3 years off your
fucking
sentence. They're like 3 years off your sentence,
Please.
would you? And I'd be like, no.
Hell no.
I go, no. They go, what if nobody had to know? I'd be like, I'd know.
Fuck that.
Like, I'm not doing it. They're
No
like,
fucking way.
Dude, 20 years.
20
You're
years.
doing
20 years.
20.
You would if
Hold on, let's set it
if
straight.
God came down from heaven and said to Shane,
Your sentence is 20.
listen, wait, shut up. If
Hold
God,
on.
shut up.
I gotta know the
Shut up.
stipulations.
Hang on, no, I'm making it up.
All right.
If you're in prison and fucking God
For
comes
how
down
many
from
years am I
heaven,
in prison for?
20 years.
Okay.
On day one, God comes down and says, Shane, if you jack this guy off, you're a free man. You don't have to do 20 years.
Not a chance, bro. Not a
Oh,
chance.
you're doing 20 years.
You're doing 10 or 20? You're doing 10 or jack some guy off, or you're doing 20?
No.
That's my-
No, you're doing 20, or you jack off the card.
You walk out of the front
and you
gate.
walk out. No time.
Fuck that. No way.
You're doing 20.
No way. I'd rather do 20.
I'm saying I jack off the
I'm
prison
walking
guard.
out of the gate.
I jack off the prison guard.
Might give him a massage. Might, it's a lot of time, bro.
Fuck it. 20
It's a lot
years
of
to jack a
time.
guy off? I don't give a fuck.
So, all right. I can't fucking believe you.
That
went
went left so hard. No way am I doing it. No fucking way.
He's a real homophobe.
I'm jacking some dude off.
Oh, listen. You want to listen? At 11 o'clock at night, you know what K2 is?
Yeah.
Okay.
Fake
So
weed, the synthetic weed.
right. So
yeah.
you understand? They send it in there all the time.
Yeah.
Like they'll
That
they'll
shit's nasty.
yeah
as
they'll
fuck,
dip like the corner of a letter in, and somebody mails it in.
Yeah.
And they know
It's
it's the upper
nasty.
left. They peel it
You'll
off,
fucking
and the guys
die
go,
off that shit.
oh, they get
You go
bad batches
crazy.
all the time. They
Oh,
strip
yeah.
their clothes. Guys will strip their clothes off, think they're on fire, run around screaming,
Really?
run
Oh,
naked
yeah.
across the compound.
Holy
Oh, yeah.
shit.
The guards will surround them,
Yeah.
and they're like, and then they'll have to jump on some naked guy. Or guys will smoke it in the fucking bathroom at 11 o'clock at night, and next thing you know, they're screaming, or they're out on. This happens all the time.
Oh yeah, I had
You
a
go
guy
in
at
the
work
bath-
just tell me about it. He said he was in there. He said there was three of them in there. They got some K2. He said one guy hit it one time, fell back on the floor, boom, passed out. He said the next guy grabbed the joint out of the
Yep.
dude's hand that passed out, hit it, boom, passed out. And then the guard comes in and says he thinks he knocked the two guys out in the fight. He said, "What the fuck? You fighting these guys?" And then he sees the joint in one dude's hand, and he's like, "Did you smoke that shit?" He's like, "Am I laying on the ground?" He said, "Hell no." So the guys just smoked two of them. That's like embalming fluid on it
Yeah.
and all sorts of shit.
Yeah,
He just
they-
fucking
you know, they-
almost died.
And they'll tell you, like they've taken guys to the hospital. They
Yeah.
fucking got them on respirators.
Yeah,
and
he
shit.
said they
get
were in
guys
there
on-
for like 20 days.
laying
in, the
in
hospital.
bed, fucking screaming and hollering. They're on fire, and
Shit's nasty.
you're like,
Jesus
I'm trying to fucking
Christ.
sleep. You got
That shit's nasty.
and you know you got the same batch he got, and then you immediately go in the bathroom and smoke your shit because that's the good shit. The guy's on fire. Oh, that must be the
You
good
want to
shit.
be on fire.
I want to be on fire.
Hell no. I don't want to be on fire, dog. I'm just joking. No way.
But like at 11 o'clock at night, you go in the bathroom, right?
It's going down.
And it's like Sodom and Gomorrah going down. I mean, God, there'll be a couple of punks in there with a fucking couple of guys.
It's like what going down?
Sodom and Gomorrah.
What is Sodom and Gomorrah?
It's just they're having sex with each other.
What is that reference?
It's the Bible. It's Sodom and Gomorrah. It's It's
Sodom and Gomorrah.
Yeah, it's the city of what? So it was in the city. Sodom and Gomorrah was the city.
You know what
Yeah,
this is?
I've heard of it before.
Yeah, it was just a
It's
city. It
just
was
liar.
so bad. It was just such a. It was just.
There's just sin
Yeah,
everywhere.
they're saying there's homosexuality, there's
Right, there's just
prostitution,
everything
there's
everywhere.
everything.
Okay,
it was so
yeah.
bad that God fucking wipes the whole thing. I think he wipes the whole thing off the face of the earth. It's just, sodomy.
Right.
So it's just such a horrible
Right, it
city.
was like
They
the
just wipes
sin-
it off
the sin
right.
place.
Okay.
And I forget who the two people are that like leave. And the woman, they say, God says like leave and don't look back. And the woman looks back and she turns into like a pillar of salt. So she turns into like salt.
Sodom and Gomorrah.
Did
I
you
like
read
that.
the Bible in prison?
Hell, no, I didn't write. It's not that I have a problem. It's not that I don't believe. It's
Yeah, just
I
a lot
want to
of people
believe.
do.
It's comforting. The problem is I have an issue with just organized religion.
Yeah.
So
That would make- that
you're
would make-
Jewish. You're
th-
going to
that would make
hell,
me
or
wanna
he's-
read it.
He's
Right, right,
Christian and he's going. Yeah, but so which Bible do you read? Is it the Quran? Is it the Bible? Which Bible is it?
I would have read them all.
Stop. I mean, I can't imagine that there's somebody saying, "Oh, sorry, you're
Adios.
Baptist. You're not going to heaven. You're Catholic. You're going." Come on, stop, bro.
Yeah.
I figure you're a good person. You try and do good things. I've already crossed that line. It's over for me.
yeah,
The
how many-
reptilians run the whole world
yeah,
anyway.
they do. Yeah, I mean, how many people that are like hardcore Christians or Catholics or have actually read the whole Bible? I doubt.
Oh, in prison, a ton of them.
Really?
Yeah, in prison they read them all the time. Oh, I didn't tell you this. This is funny. So at the medium, I never have a problem. I never have an issue with anybody really. I have a couple of close calls where it could have gone bad. Nothing ever happened. It's good. I'm good. I was teaching the real estate class too, so everybody thinks they're going to get out and flip houses. So I'm either selling certificates and people are happy, or I'm teaching the real estate class and everybody's like, "Man, that dude's a beast. He's fucking good at real estate. I'm going to get out and make a bunch of money. Hey, Cox, man, I appreciate a good class." Guys are shaking my hand when they're leaving class. It was bizarre. Like I changed their lives, and I would get up there and I would explain how drug dealers really have a leg up on flipping houses.
Yeah.
Because they'll knock on doors.
They're hustlers. They're hustlers.
Yeah, we talked about that. So I'm fine. When I go to the low, I get in there, and I mean I'm not there, but I'm in there a few months, and this black guy, 6'6" black guy, comes up to me one day in my cell. I'm sitting there and I'm writing. Comes up to me and he says, "Hey," I go, "Yeah, what's up?" And he goes, "This is how this is gonna work, bro. You give me $50 in commissary every month, you ain't gonna have no problems." And I go, "Yeah?" He goes, "Yeah." I go, "50?" He goes, "50." And I go, "I could probably swing 50. So it's got to be 50? And he goes, "Yeah, it's got to be 50. I said, "All right, you got a list or something?"
A list of what?
A list of commissary items I have to buy.
Oh, yeah.
So he's kind of like, it's going better than he thought. Big guy. Killed me. He beat me like a small child if he had to. I mean, it was just 6'6". Been
Yeah.
working out 10 years probably. I mean, it's ridiculous. And I'm sitting down. I'm still just like, "All right." I said, "Well, you going to give me a list or what?" And he goes, "Yeah, I'll get you. I'm going to get you a list." He goes, "You going to get it?" And I went, "Yeah, I'm going to get it. I got you. I said, "Dude, do me a favor. Write your name and reg number down, though. Which cell you're in." And he goes, "What do you need that for?" I said, "Well, I need to know where you're at so I can bring you the stuff and everything." He goes, "Yeah." And I said, "Yeah, make sure you write it all down." He goes, "Yeah, all right. So make sure your reg numbers and your real name's on it, too." And he goes, "Why?" He goes, "What do you need that for?" I said, "So when I bring it to the fucking counselor and I give him the list that you just gave me and I tell him, 'Hey, what am I supposed to do with this?' I said, 'I want to make sure that when we call you, we can get you right in the office so we can talk about this.'" And he goes, Oh, that's how it is?" I said, "That's how it fucking is." I said, "If I just did 3 years in the fucking medium and I didn't have any problems," I said, "do you think I'm coming to the fucking low and I'm going to pay you $50?
Oh, this was in the low?
This is in the low. I said,
Oh,
"You think
my
I'm coming here?
God.
I'm going to get shook
No
down."
wonder you're so cocky.
Yeah, I go, "I'm going to get shook down in the fucking low?"
Yeah.
And he goes, "Oh, that's how it is?" I said, "Yeah." I said, "Listen, let me explain something." I go, "This is a fucking protective custody prison." I said, "So everybody here's a fucking snitch or a chomo." I said, "There's maybe 4 or 5 guys in each unit, and those are the guys that went to trial that didn't cooperate." I said, "No offense." I said, "You didn't go to trial." I said, "I'm thinking you didn't go to trial. And if you did, then you don't want to fuck with a guy like me." I said, "Because I'll fucking rat you out like that." I said, "I'm not paying you shit." I said, "Are we all good here?" He goes, you're going to have problems. I said, motherfucker, I've had problems my whole life. My whole life's been a problem. I said, I don't give a shit. And I sat there, and I'm being loud, too, so people are looking. So now he's looking. And he goes, oh, all right, we'll see. We'll see. I said, all right. And he walks off.
What the fuck was he in there for, you think?
Oh, he was drugs. He had a life sentence.
Oh, really?
I find out later, he's gone back to court like 6 times in the last five or 6 years.
Oh, shit.
Cooperating, cracking people off.
Yeah.
Testifying, bam, bam. He went from life down to like 15 years or something. He's got like 8 or 10
So that guy's
years.
not fucking up at all.
No, he can't.
Right.
But he saw me and he thought, soft, white, cracker.
Right. Easy.
Easy mark.
Yeah.
So here's what's funny about this is like, so I'm walking by him and stuff, and I would see him, and he would just kind of walk by me, and whatever, bro. So, and I'm not fucking with a guy. I mean, he'd
Right.
kill me.
Right.
So I'm avoiding him. But we're in the same unit. So let's say his name is B. Okay, I forget what his name was though. So one day, my cellie goes to the drug program. I'm in a 2-man room, and I'm on the top bunk. I'm supposed to move to the bottom bunk. Well, this other guy, they called him Rambo. He was a fat Puerto Rican guy that was loud, screamed all the time.
Yo, this Rambo.
Yeah, he had a cane, and so you basically you don't just move in someone's cell. You go and you say, hey, look, man, I know your bed's coming available. I'd like to move in. Can we, because it's a dickhead move, and it could be a real problem, especially with races and stuff, different races. That's not really an issue at Coleman so much. It is, but it isn't. People like to act like it is, but nobody's probably going to do anything.
Yeah.
But you want to have somebody, you don't want a tense situation. So I come back from the rec yard one day. My cellie had left the day before. This guy Rambo's in the bottom bunk. They're moving all the stuff in my cell. And it's not your cell, but it is my cell, but it's not my cell. I've been there.
Yeah.
It's the BOP cell,
Yeah.
But you get, you follow the kind of the rules, right? So, and I'm like, what the fuck? So one of the guys turns around, he's like, hey man, he moved it. He didn't even speak English. So another guy, Puerto Rican guy, helping him out. He's like, they're like, hey man, Cox, he moving in. And I'm like, oh, that's bullshit. Because another guy was supposed to move in, and he's like, he's got a cane, he's the bottom bunk, and I was supposed to move the bottom bunk.
Right.
And
So
I'm stuck on the top. This fat fucker just fucked me over.
Why is the bottom bunk so much better?
Because you don't have to climb up on this. I'm not 12. I mean, it's comfortable. You got to go to the bathroom in the middle of the night. You got to climb down.
Yeah.
You got to go climb back up. It's just a pain in the ass.
Okay. That's the main reason, though?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm just like. So I'm furious. And they know I'm furious, but they're like, yeah, fuck him. What's he going to do?
Right.
And I'm like, okay. So I walk into the white TV room. You got the main TV room. It's like basically like the black TV room. Then you got the Hispanic TV room. Because there's a little tiny room, which is the Hispanic TV room. And then you've got the white TV room, which is a little tiny room too. And you got the big room, which is the black.
That's crazy that they all segregate like that.
Yeah. And here's the funny thing. They self-segregate. Like
Right.
literally they do it themselves.
Right.
So So I go in the white TV room, and I'm like, fuck, motherfucker. And I start, I bitching. They're like, what's going on? What's going on? So there's this biker dude that's in there. He goes, bro, I'm leaving in like a month. His cellie is a sex offender they call Creature. This guy never bathes. He's got like a pentagram. He's a completely just disgusting guy. And like they push him around. People are vicious to him. I mean, and he's timid and scared and everything. So the guy's name was Danny. Danny goes, fuck. He said, well, I'm leaving. You can move into my place. And then I was like, man, I'm not staying.
Whose name was Danny? Creature?
No.
The biker.
The biker.
Okay.
He goes, Cox, you can move in my place. I said, man, I don't want to be in that fucking cell one day. And I was like, fuck. I'm trying to figure out I'm so fucking furious about this. So I go, you know what? I said, let's go talk to Creature. I said, maybe Creature will switch with me. So we go over and say, hey, Creature, listen, would you mind switching cells? I said, I have an issue with this guy. He doesn't speak English. We've had a couple of issues before. I'm in the cell with him. He's like, oh, he's got glasses. He's like, I really want to stay here. I like staying here. I'm going to stay here. And I'm like, Creatures, this is a real issue for me. I really need you. I said, look, I'm willing to get you. I'll get you $20 in commissary. I said, I'm not like these other guys, bro. I'll pay you. You know I'm good for it. I'm not gonna fuck you over.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, I think I'll stay. I'll stay. And then Danny goes, Creature, he said, you know, before I came here, guys were really mean to you, right? And he's like, yeah. He said, but I don't really let them be mean to you now, right? He's like, yeah. He said, well, I can't guarantee it's not going to get really bad for you unless you move. And I go, whoa. I said, Creature, I don't know what he's saying. That's not what's happening here. And he's looking at me like, what? I'm like, it's totally up to you. So he's like, I don't know. I said, look, $30 in commissary. And he goes, okay, I'll do it for $30 in commissary. So we go and we go in, get the counselor, sign the paperwork, do everything, swap fucking beds while this guy's asleep.
Who the Puerto Rican
Rambo's
guy?
asleep,
Yeah, Rambo's
taking a nap
sleeping.
in the middle of the day. We switch beds. So we get the dolly, we switch the fucking our lockers, and when I go to put Creature's locker and I slam it, bam! And Rambo wakes up. What's going on? What's going on? And I go, have fun with your new, with your new celly. Turn around, I walk out.
With fucking Creature.
All the Puerto Rican guys rush into the cell, and they're like, and all of a sudden I hear he's looking around like, what's going on? They're all like laughing at him, and all of a sudden he goes, the Chomo, and they all fucking burst out laughing.
Who, Creature said that?
No, the Puerto Rican guy goes, the Chomo.
Rambo said that. Yeah.
Realizing I just
moved
stuck
the Chomo in there.
stuck the Chomo in him with the
yeah.
Chomo. So he's furious. The other Puerto Ricans are like that. They're like fucking.
So now you're with the biker.
Oh yeah, I'm in with the biker, which was a really good guy.
Yeah.
And he left like a month later, and I moved down to the rent. So, but what's so funny is that 2 weeks later, he goes. 2 weeks later, I see the tall black guy that tried to shake me down.
Yeah.
I'm walking. No, not 2. Did I say 2 weeks? Like 2 days later.
2 days later.
So I'm walking down the hallway.
What's time when you're in for so long?
Yeah. Well, I'm walking down the hallway, and he goes, Cox. And I look up at him. I'm thinking, fuck. I go, yeah, what's up? And he goes, that shit you did with, he said, with Creature? And I go, yeah. He goes, it was a veteran move, bro. It's a fucking veteran move. He goes, nice.
He liked that?
Nice job. And I go, yeah, you like that? I'm like, yeah. He goes, nice. It was just like, after that, talking to me all the time.
Really?
Hey, Cox, what's going on, man? What's up? I'm like, what's up?
He seen you had an angle on that move and you made it
he thought
good.
that was just great.
Yeah.
That's hilarious, man.
He's it's funny because he's the guy and when Trump won.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh, it's fucking
What was it like in there with the
horrible.
fucking morning Trump one?
Because up until then it was these guys, they're delusional. They think
Are they all talking about like the whole fucking presidential race?
Of course
they're all
huge
watching it on
into-
TV, right?
Huge into politics.
Yeah.
And it's basically split just like you'd think it would be split.
Yeah. The Mexicans and the blacks. They
love
like-
Hillary Clinton. All the white guys.
All the
love
white guys
fucking
love Trump, right.
And I'm sitting there going, he's never going to win. He's not going to win. And you got you'll see. I'm like, you're fucking crazy. That's insane.
What did you think?
I didn't think he's going to win. There's
Right.
no way he's going to win.
Did you like him?
Here's the problem with Trump is I have no problem with Trump's policies. I don't have an issue with his policies at all. What I have an issue is that it's like, stop talking.
Yeah.
Stop saying stupid shit.
Yeah.
Stop saying fucked up shit. All you've got to do is read the speech.
Right.
You could go down as an amazing president. You enter into the White House when the economy is on an upswing. Mm-hmm. It looks like you've done amazing things. You can't fuck this up unless you keep saying stupid shit. Read the
Can't even read.
All you have to do is
Can't even read.
Yeah, but I'm saying, read the speeches. Just read
Yeah.
the speeches.
Yeah.
Make it a short, very simple speech. Don't say anything. Don't deviate. This moment he
He
stop tweeting.
can't not deviate.
And yeah, because it's narcissism.
Yeah, of course.
And he's got this huge following. And people
fucking
just
massive
love him no matter
ego.
what he says.
Yeah, it's the ego.
Oh yeah.
So he's insane. And so all the black guys are they love Hillary Clinton. Like
Yeah.
she's gonna set
Really?
him free. She's gonna set him free.
Wow.
Right, because she was the opposite of Trump, right?
Right.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. Yeah. So,
It
it's
was
like,
either
look,
Trump or Hillary.
you
It's
still
just-
say, look,
it's like
if
yeah.
Obama didn't do all these things that you guys thought they were going to do, Hillary's not. Her
Right.
husband built more prisons than anybody.
Right.
Right.
They profited off him.
Tons of prisons.
Yeah.
So I'm like, at least Trump it's money for Trump. It's about money. If it doesn't make economic sense, he's got to make a decision. It's
Right.
based
And
on.
he's all about the money.
Yeah,
At the end of the day.
So I'm like, you might have a shot of getting something with. Listen, I actually got time knocked off my sentence because of one of the bills that he passed. It wasn't a lot of time. It was like 11 days. It was supposed to be like 60 or 70 days. I forget the exact number.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But I had already, by the time it passed, I'd already been past that point, so they just let me out a week early.
Oh.
But a lot of
From
guys
Trump?
that got years off.
From
Pete,
Trump?
Yeah, Pete got like a year off his sentence.
Really?
He's done so much.
What was
time.
the bill?
The bill was that the BOP, technically you get 15% off your sentence for gain time, right? But the BOP it should be 54 days a year. But the BOP has a way of calculating so that it's only 47 days. So you end up losing a week of good time every year. 20 years. So Pete's got 20 years, or he's got, 20 times 7. So he's got 6 months. 6 months of his sentence was knocked off, not a year.
Yeah,
Right.
Can't beat
So
that.
actually, he's more than, he's got 23 years. So whatever that comes, basically it's 6 months. He got 6 months knocked off. So I don't have an issue with his policies. I just think he's just a blow. He's just an ass.
a blowhard,
He's an ass,
yeah.
it's too bad. But
Yeah, he's wild as hell.
but what's so funny about it is that it was all energy. They were all pumped
Yeah,
up.
you got everybody fired up.
I'm saying before the thing,
Before he got elected.
during the election.
During the
Yeah,
election.
yeah.
During the election. Then the next morning, it looks like he's doing well, and I go to bed. He's doing well. It's not gonna happen.
Yeah.
I go to bed. I wake up the next morning. I'm walking. I'm going to get my coffee. I'm walking through the hallway, and everybody's so quiet. I don't hear shit. There are a bunch of guys up too, and they're just like grumbling. I'm like, what? I see this fucking guy. I go, hey man. He's like, yeah, what's up, Cox? And I go, man, who won? And he goes, man, fuck you. You know that cracker won that shit, man. I go, I start laughing. I go, are you serious? And he goes, man, you fucking with. I said, oh my God, he won? I said, oh, you're done, bro. You guys are all fuck you, Cox, because they're all making jokes. So what's so funny is like after that, this is like remember the guy was standing up?
Yeah.
Remember the guy? So one day I come walking up. This is like fucking 4 or 5 months later. I go walking up to get some water, and the guy's bent over drinking water out of the water fountain. I come walking up behind him. He goes, hey, Cox. He goes, I don't like a white man coming up on me like that from behind when I'm drinking water. Joking around, right? And I looked at him. I said, listen, bro. I said, don't worry. Another year of Trump, you're going to have your own water fountain.
Oh my
And
God.
He goes, oh. You should have seen him. He was like, oh my
hell
God.
no.
I was like, nice, right?
Oh my
He goes,
God.
you motherfucker. He just walked off like, fuck.
Oh my God.
I mean, I
You
was.
think Trump will get reelected?
Nowadays, you'll get fucking kicked off every social media platform for saying some shit like that.
Oh my, who knows? It's insane. I'm just shocked. I'm shocked that he's made it this long, saying the stuff that he said, the things.
Do you
that
keep
come
up with
out.
it? Do you keep up with
I barely keep up
Me
with
neither,
it.
yeah.
When I was
It's such a distraction.
in prison, everybody is reading every single
Right, you have
thing.
all the time in the world.
Right. So you don't even have to read anything. Everybody will tell you what's
Right,
going on.
right.
Oh, this is what happened, and this, and this, and this, and what's amazing to me was the guys that were actually predicting that he was going to win, and then he won, and they were just like,
Were they betting on it in there?
oh, they bet on everything.
Hell yeah,
Yeah.
right.
They bet
They're
on
betting
everything.
for sure.
The only time I ever bet was on the Casey Anthony trial.
Oh,
Does she
really?
get convicted?
No, I bet because the odds were really. I bet that she would get the highest odds was that she would get
Let go.
let go.
Yeah, yeah.
And you could bet. Guys were taking soup, so I bet one soup. I said, boom, she's getting off. And they were like, you're fucking crazy. I said, yeah, all right, we'll see. I said,
That crazy ass bitch got
I
off.
said, I
bro.
saw that opening scene, and when
Oh
I saw
my
the
God.
opening argument, or whatever you call it when they first start, and that guy said, when the lawyer Jose Baez said,
Yeah.
she could be having her father's penis in her mouth at 7 o'clock, and by 8:30 she was playing with her friends on the in the playground at school. I thought.
That was her lawyer, right?
It was her lawyer said
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
He's
yeah.
like, you have to understand where her mind's at.
Yeah.
She's being, molested or whatever. And when he said that, I was like, holy I couldn't believe he said it. Like, just blatant like that. I was like, oh, this dude's gonna pull something off.
Anybody who's something crazy,
he's willing to go.
He said
way in.
Yeah, he stretched it to the farthest.
He's gonna blame everything on the father.
Yeah.
Holy shit! And then she gets off. I was like, holy shit.
That's funny.
But she did it, right? Everybody knows
sure
she did that
she
shit.
I'm sure she did.
God
Yeah.
damn.
Right? Sometimes you get that fucking lawyer that pushes like that. Who was OJ's lawyer?
Johnny
Fucking-
Cochran?
Johnny Cochran. You get that Johnny Cochran in there once in a while, man. You get lucky
Yeah, I think I won like 10 or 11 soups.
on that
Wow.
bet.
It was really high. I was like, well, I mean, it's a soup. Fuck it.
Right.
You know.
But a soup's a lot in there.
Soup's a soup.
Yeah, anything free.
I could go for a soup right now.
Soup sandwich.
Everybody complains about those ramen soups.
Those ramens.
They're awesome.
Yeah,
I
they're
love
fire.
ramen soup. So like, there's all these guys that are locked up, right? That look. First of all, you're in a prison where almost everybody cooperated, or they cooperated, or they're sex offenders, right? Mm-hmm. But you got these guys that will show up, and of course they're like, I didn't fucking cooperate against nobody, and they're walking around calling everybody a fucking snitches and fucking
'Cause they're going to
chomos.
trial.
Yeah.
Huh? Well, no,
They're going to
they didn't even
trial
go
or
to
what?
trial. So you didn't go to trial. You ended up here. You didn't go to trial, but you didn't cooperate. Well, that doesn't really make sense. Statistically, it doesn't make sense. I mean, maybe there's one or two of those guys, but the fact that you're also a 6 foot tall white guy that's tatted up and you got 15 years and you didn't go to trial, but it just doesn't make sense. You know what I'm saying? Why wouldn't they have sent you someplace closer to your house? There's all these prisons that are closer to your house. Why would they send you across the country? They sent you across the country from fucking California here. You cooperated. You can't go to a California prison.
Yeah.
There's guys that you cooperated. It'll get around. You don't have the correct paperwork. So they send you to a prison where you can't get your paperwork in. Everybody at Coleman will say, oh yeah, I can't get my PSI. Your PSI basically tells whether you cooperated.
Yeah.
So they're like, yeah, when you get there, if it's a real, like a tough prison, they go, man, listen, you got about 2 weeks to get your paperwork in. And then everybody kind of is standoffish. Mm-hmm. They're not judging you yet.
Right.
Waiting for your paperwork to come in. And I've changed people's paperwork. Like, I mean, when I was I had access to a computer and a printer when I was at the Medium. And I had guys that would come to me and be like, listen, man, this guy, he such and such, he's a good guy. His fucking paperwork's fucked up, though. His PSI. I mean, I know you fucking do documents and shit. Is there any way?
You got a fine arts degree.
Yeah, you got a fine arts degree. And
They all know that.
Yeah. And I go, give me his fucking PSI. And we look through it. He goes, it's this page right here, and then the last page. I go, all right. So I'd match up the font. I'd retype the thing. I'd paste it on. I'd paste it over it. I'd go make a fucking copy of it. I'd copy all the pages so they all look the same. And I'd change the last page, whole thing, give it back to him, boom. Here's what's fucked up. I did that maybe 3 or 4 times in the Medium for guys. I had this one guy that was a Mexican. He was half Mexican, half Puerto Rican, and the Mexicans were giving him a hard time because they don't like the Puerto Ricans. Mm-hmm. So they're already pissed. They already don't like him.
Yeah.
So, and he can't provide his paperwork. So when I give him the paperwork, I say, look, wait till they ask you again. Tell them you got it in a couple days ago. Tell them you're going to show 1 or 2 of the shot callers, and you don't want to hear about it again. I said, you see what I'm saying? Don't be passing around. Don't be stupid about it. Right. Like you're flaunting it. People will get suspicious if you're flaunting it. You don't want to show it because there's a lot of snitches here. You know what I'm saying? I said, be reasonable, just like the other guys would be. They don't want to show everybody their paperwork. Somebody will jump on their case.
Right.
And he goes, okay. So a couple days later, guys are like, man, you ever get your paperwork in? He's like, yeah, man, I got it. I'm going to show it to you, but I won't show it to everybody, man. I'll show it to this shot caller and this guy and the guy who's running this unit, and that's it, man. Y'all vouch for him, that's it. I ain't showing it to fucking 50 people. Like, yeah. They go in, they look at it, they check it out. He's good, that's it. Man, a month later, I walk in, and he's standing there with a bunch of the Mexicans that were basically shunning him before. And as I walk by, I hear him say, man, we're going to have to see that motherfucker's paperwork, man. I think
About you?
No, about somebody else.
Oh, about somebody else, yeah.
He's like, yeah, some guy, new guy. He's like, yeah, I want to see his paperwork. I don't think he's no good. I look over at him, and he looks at me. He's like, looks at the ground like, fuck. And I was just thinking, you fucking piece of shit.
What?
So now your paperwork's no good, and I just got you good paperwork, and now you're going around asking for people's paperwork. You're just a fucking hypocrite piece of shit.
Yeah.
He was a scared kid that I thought I was helping out.
Yeah.
Now you're just a scumbag. Like I figured I'm gonna do it because I feel bad for him, and I figure the next guy maybe he helps out, and he didn't fucking help him out. He's ready to jump right in the fucking car with everybody.
People are fucking savages,
You got
dude.
to, though, right?
I mean, you don't have to be. He was he was an advocate for the paperwork.
Right.
But what's so funny is, so you get to the low, it's the same thing. They're still asking. People are asking for paperwork, but it's hard to get your paperwork sent in. Like guys will say, I tried to get sent in. It came through legal. They turned it down, and it's difficult. I've had my PSI was sent in twice. My PSI looks good. Like it doesn't say anything about cooperation or anything.
Yeah.
It's amazing how good it looks. And I would get it, and guys would come to me and go, yo, Cox, man, you just got here and we heard some shit, and I'm gonna need to see your paperwork. I'm like, oh, okay, I'll show you my PSI. And I go, here, come here. And I show it, and they look through it, and I go, okay.
You had no one to cooperate against.
Huh?
You had no one to cooperate
No, I
against.
cooperated against everybody. For some reason, it wasn't in my PSI. Because the last page is what they're mostly concerned about, and it says, like, did he get a 5K one, or has he got a Rule 35 coming? I don't have anything like that.
Oh, okay.
So it looks good to them.
Yeah.
They're not going to read fucking 50 pages of documents. So they're like, he's like, all right. I go, see, it says I didn't cooperate. I said, but let me go ahead and let you in on something, bro. I cooperated against every motherfucker I could think of. It's just not, it doesn't happen to be in here. Doesn't mean that I didn't do it. Doesn't mean that I don't want out of this fucking place. I said, and it doesn't mean that I said any of this means shit.
Right.
I said, so I don't want to let you in on something. I said, my paperwork looks good, but I said, I'm not good. And he was like, the fuck?
Nobody ever says that, right?
No. And by that point, I already know there have been articles that say I was cooperating. That when I was in the medium. So all he's got to do is ask somebody. It's already getting around. So for me to sit there and say, for me to sit there and go, yeah, man, yeah, I'm good. He's going to get an article in any day now. So I'm like, it's all bad. I said, you can have people look on the internet. It's all bad. And he's like, that's fucked up. I said, it is fucked up. So we're not going to be friends. And I feel bad about that because you seem like a nice guy. And I get up and walk away, and they're like, motherfucker. What are you gonna do?
Yeah.
What can you do?
Fuck you. You know what I'm saying? I'm give a shit.
Right.
I didn't come here to make friends.
Right. Exactly.
So
you're trying to get the fuck out of there.
right, I want fucking out.
Right.
What? I'm 20, 30.
Right. I'm not here
I'm
to
supposed
fucking
to be in prison right now.
Right.
So here's what's funny is, so some of these guys are, it's like statistically it doesn't make sense, Danny, that you're here on a meth case and you got 15 years when you've been in prison 4 times. And you keep telling everybody that you were caught with this much meth. And the people cooperated against you. You should have a life sentence. Maybe 30 years.
So you're snitching.
But you got 15. And you got a good story. Nobody wants to question it because you're a tough guy. You're 6 foot tall. You work out all the time. You're covered in tats. You've been to state prison twice. You've been to this one guy I know. Should I say his name? Anyway.
We can leave that blank.
Ellis
We
Cook.
shouldn't.
Anyway, what a fucking dick.
Ding dong.
So he fucking, he walks around like he's a badass, right? And he's a badass. Beat me to a fucking pulp, but then you don't have to be that bad of a guy, a badass.
He did or he could?
No, he could. I mean,
Yeah.
he's been to state prison multiple times. Motherfuckers, he's like fucking probably close to, he's like 5'10", 5'11". I say 6 foot. He's probably 5'10", 5'11". But works out all the time, white guy, meth dealer. So, and he's been to state prison multiple times. So what I'm saying is, he and I constantly went back and forth, bickering, fighting, this and that, talking shit to each other.
In the low?
In the low. And so in the white TV room, like he wants to watch this program. All he wants to do is watch fucking fishing and that gold rush and just all fucking just horrible program, and like state troopers, Alaska. It's like,
He's just a
stop
fucking
it.
he's like a hillbilly.
I can't watch all this fucking fishing shit and hunting, and you're not even allowed to have a gun. Why are we watching this show about guns? You can't have a gun.
I want what I can't have, Matt.
I used to watch Walking Dead all the time, right?
Did you
It was
really?
the only thing I ever watched.
Show's so bad.
I love that show.
So corny.
Everybody loves that
everybody
show.
loves that show.
No.
That's like me saying that football's stupid. I don't like football, but I have to admit, clearly there's something
I
there.
couldn't take the fucking show seriously. It's just too fucking corny.
Can't take it seriously.
The
It's
fucking
Walking Dead, of course.
Rick, Carl, Carl, the fucking walkers. It was so
You're
cheesy,
mocking
dude.
the dead?
Dude, it was so fucking
Okay.
lame. Anyways,
So-
we
So-
can get past our differences there.
it comes on like every 3 months, and then every 3 months, every 3 months. So this guy comes in, and we watched it, 3 months, and then 3 months later we watch it again. 3 months later we watch it again. So, well, the next time it comes on, there's something called Broken Skull Ranch. It's going to be on basically about the same time, and so Walking Dead's coming up, and they're making a schedule. I go, whoa, Walking Dead's on Sunday, and Cook goes, bro, we ain't watching that shit. We're watching Broken Skull Ranch, and I go.
That's with Stone Cold, right?
Yeah.
Is that really?
Yeah.
That's Stone Cold
which
show?
is probably his idol.
Yeah.
I love how you know that.
And I go,
Stone Cold's a shit.
I go-
Stone Cold rules, but I ain't watching fucking Broken Skull Ranch. Tell you that
I've
much.
seen it.
So I go, no, we're not watching that. And he goes, yeah, we are. And I go, no, we're not. And he goes, yeah, we are, bro. And I go, no, we're not, because I've been here fucking 5 fucking years, and you just got here. And we've been watching this for 5 years. I said, we're going to keep watching it. And he goes, yeah, we'll fucking see, bro. We'll see on Sunday when that shit ain't on. I go, okay, we'll fucking see. I said, well, be here with your fucking boots on, motherfucker. He goes, I'll beat your ass. I said, maybe you'll beat my ass. Maybe it don't go your way. And he's like, fuck you. Fuck you. I get up and walk out. He's going to kill me. So what happens?
You're just hoping you scared him.
Oh, this goes back and forth. But there's always the fear of, it doesn't matter whether there's a fight or not. We're both going to shoe. You know what I'm saying?
Right, we both lose.
Yeah, we're both losing. So next day, we have another bickering argument. Next day, it's more all day. Sunday comes. It's on Sunday night. It's all day long.
It's D-Day.
I got my fucking boots on. Like, I'm really like...
Everybody's
You ready to get your ass
I'm ready
kicked?
to fucking go. I'm actually not gonna go. I mean, like, if he stood up and I just fucking storm off. I'm not gonna get in a fight with this shit. But I can't let him know that. I'll play it up. I'll play it right up to the fucking hilt.
Right up to the fucking last
I'll
second.
stand up and be like, motherfucker, what the fuck? No, I'm just joking, bro. You can turn. I don't care. I'll walk off.
I was just fucking with you.
Yeah. So we're going back and forth, and guys are like, bro, he ain't fucking around. Really, he's not. He's telling everybody. And I'm telling all these guys that watch Walking Dead, we're all going in there. They're like, so you're telling me that if all 15 of us go in there, you're gonna turn the channel? You're fucking goddamn right, I am. They're like, God damn, Cox, you're serious, huh? I go, bring your fucking boots, bro. I'm not doing nothing. But so he comes to me one day. So like an hour before Walking Dead, we're in there. Watch it. Just watching TV. We're sitting there and we're waiting and waiting.
He's in there too?
Oh, we're both in there.
Oh, you're both in there.
It's an hour away though.
Right.
I'm posted up all day.
Shit talking, nothing going back and forth?
Nothing really at that moment. And he says, oh, by the way, and I go to get up to go get some food to start bringing my food and shit.
Popcorn?
Of course. So I go to get my stuff, and he gets up too, and we're both getting up, and he said, oh, I see you. He making comment, I see you got your boots on. I'm like, don't even fucking worry about my boots, bro. Don't even fucking worry about my shit. Keep my name out your mouth. That's what you do. I'm saying, doing all this stupid shit that people do. So he goes, I go to get up, and he said, oh, I heard about you getting your little gang together, all gonna come in here. So I'll slap the fucking shit out of every motherfucker that walks in there. I said, yeah, all right. So we go to so he gets up. We're both walking out, and as we walk out, he says to me, you think you're? He goes, oh, you think you're fucking? He goes, you think I'm fucking around? And I go, listen. I go, honestly, I said, you need to stop fucking worrying. Understand? I said, stop worrying about the TV and Walking Dead. I said, because you know what's going to happen? No matter what happens, I'm yanking the fucking TV off the wall, and we're both going to the shoe, and we're both going to watch it together in the fucking shoe. Do you understand? I said, that's how fucking serious I am. I said, you need to stop worrying. Just stop worrying about the shit. Here's what you need to worry about, Cook. Start worrying about where they're going to send you, because you better hope, because they're going to send them to another prison. We're both going to different prisons. You better fucking hope they don't send you out west where they're asking for paperwork that we both know you can't provide. And he goes, somebody say something? And I go, yeah. He goes, who? And I go, you did just now.
Oh my
And he goes,
You had the angle on him.
and he goes, I said you should have a 25-year minimum mandatory. You got less than 15.
Oh, you
And he looked at me and he goes, man, you know I'm just fucking around about that shit. You can watch that shit, bro. I mean, I'm good with you. You know I'm just playing, man. I'm just playing. I said, I know you're playing. I was playing too, man. I'm just joking. We're good. We're good. He goes, yeah, we're good. We're good. He said, we're good though? I go, yeah, we're good. And he goes, okay. He fucking goes in, gets his chair, brings his chair out, fucking everything. We go in, we watch Walking Dead. Everyone's like, I can't believe you fucking. And I'm like, holy shit. Totally fucking bluffed his ass. I mean, he would have beaten me to a pulp.
Oh my God.
I mean, and I always felt like something was wrong. He always said 15 years, but it's like, it just doesn't make sense. The amount of meth you got caught with, and you've been in prison. You're not getting 15 years.
Yeah.
You got caught with a gun and meth, and you've been to state prison twice. You probably should have deserved life.
Yeah.
Maybe 25 or 30. Maybe 30. I'm going to give you 25. Not 15. No way you got 15. Later, he comes back and he talks to me. He's like, look, the way I got the 15 was not what you think. So I don't care what you think.
Try to explain his way out.
Yeah, he's trying to tell me, like, he, like, buried some guns. They always use that. Like, I knew someday I'd get caught, so I buried some guns. So
and
then,
gave it up.
Then I gave up. I said, look, I know where there's a bunch of guns, and I gave him these guns. I didn't give nobody up. Stop it. Stop.
You ain't do that.
That's not what happened.
No Stone Cold today, brother. You can watch Monday Night Raw, bitch.
No.
You'll be lucky to get Monday Night Raw tomorrow.
I mean, we were best buddies after that.
Really?
He was always looking out for me.
Wow.
Hey, buddy.
He wouldn't use to spill the beans after that.
What are you doing?
God damn, dude.
But yeah, that was
What a fucking great story that is.
I always thought that was funny.
Holy shit.
Always thought that was funny. I was thinking about, there was another thing that was
What a fucking
funny.
crazy story.
Oh, fucking Ellis Cook. There's another thing that's
Ellis.
funny. Ellis.
Is he's still in there, obviously?
Yeah. Bro, he got shipped, came back. I mean, he's always in trouble. Always in trouble. He was trying to get it so that, like, none of the sex offenders could go in the TV room. I mean, he got in trouble, and they finally shipped him. I mean, because he's just a fucking maniac. He's trying so hard to play a thug in an area or in a prison. You don't need to play a thug. You
Right.
need to kick back and just relax.
Right.
Stop asking for people's paperwork.
Right.
It's not that important.
Right.
And even if you guys all group together, there's maybe 30 of you on the compound that didn't cooperate. Mm-hmm. What are you gonna do? You'd get slaughtered if everybody decided to
Right.
do something for real,
right?
And have a riot. So what are you're clicking up with all the solid guys? Cut the shit.
Right.
Solid guys are all wish they had cooperated.
Right,
At this
exactly.
point. They all got 25 years. They're like, I made a mistake.
Yeah.
So, the other thing that I always think is funny. See, the problem is a lot of this shit that's funny probably isn't funny because out here things are so vastly different.
Yeah.
And your mindset's different.
Mm-hmm.
But what is funny, this might be funny, is that after Trump won, right? Outside my cell one day, there were a group of Puerto Rican guys at 11 o'clock at night talking. They're always yelling and screaming in Spanish, and it's just like, it's rude, and and you can't. What are you gonna say? You can't say anything, and then they say something back. Next thing you know, you're fucking screaming, and there's 150 guys trying to sleep. People are screaming at you. What are you gonna do? You're not gonna get into a fight with fucking six Puerto Ricans, six gang members sitting outside your unit. So you just sit there and you lay there and you just take it. And I remember one night I was sitting there. I was like, I wish these motherfuckers would all just go back to the island. Wish I could just send them all back to the island. And I went, I can't send them back to the island. But Trump could send him back to the island.
Oh my God.
And I went, what could I do? And I went, oh shit. So we used to get a newsletter. You can sign up to get a newsletter on the CoreLink system, the email system.
Yeah.
And like this lawyers or different people like FedCure, and so they have these different but these different organizations. One of the organizations is a guy named Jeremy Gordon, and he's a lawyer. And every 2 weeks or something, he sends a newsletter, and he in his newsletter he always has like little articles that he's found about some prison doing this or some prison doing that. So he sends these things with little tiny things about prison reform and just stupid shit.
Newsletters.
Right? Newsletters, and how this guy got relief, and he's doing this, and he just found out this little article was in the New York Times and whatever, and people get him, they print it out, and they walk around, they read them and stuff. Oh, hey, did you hear that they're putting a bill into Congress to try and do this, and try and so-and-so's sponsoring it, and whatever. So periodically it comes out. Not everybody gets it. Not everybody subscribes to it. So I go and I go to the library and I write an article. You know who Jeff Sessions is, right? You don't know.
Yeah, I've heard of him before.
Okay, he's like Jeff Sessions is like he was like the attorney general at the time. So Trump had made him attorney general. He was
really old guy, right?
Yeah, he was attorney general, and Trump was signing like these executive orders left and right.
Yeah,
and everybody's freaking out, which all the presidents do when they get in. They start just cutting stuff, doing they always have a slew of them initially. So I go and I write an article that because Puerto Rico was so far in debt, Trump was it was big in the news at that moment. I write this article with quotes from Jeff Sessions in it, quotes from Trump, talking about how Puerto Rico is super in debt, and that basically Trump signed into law. He repealed or he altered a portion of the 1917 law that made, or rule or act that made Puerto Rico a territory.
Part of the U.S.
I had to read up on it. Like I went and I looked in the you know what our internet is? It's the Britannica. So I would break open the Britannica and I read all about how the United States conscripted a bunch of Puerto Rican citizens into the military, and the deal was, we're going to make you a territory, and we're going to conscript like 50,000 Puerto Ricans into the U.S. military, because we were sending troops in World War I. We were sending troops over to help fight the war.
Yeah,
a bunch of them were Puerto Ricans. We didn't have enough troops. Well, we can go to Puerto Rico. We'll just make you a territory, and our deal is we make you a territory, but you need 50,000 troops. They said, okay, we'll do it. So I say in the whole article that I wrote that that part of it was that you were citizens. However, the Constitution says that you can alter citizenship if they have felonies, convictions.
Right.
Right? Well, anyone with a felony, Trump was going to have sent back to Puerto Rico.
right.
The moment they were rounding them all up. If you have a felony, they're rounding you up and sending you. And every inmate currently in federal prison, as soon as you leave, you would be sent back to Puerto Rico.
Right.
So I take that, I paste it into a Jeremy Gordon letter or
The newsletter, right.
I changed the date. I changed the name of the inmate that it was sent to, because everything you print out has the name of an inmate. I changed all of it. I go and I make like 20 copies. And it's not just, it's like, the article's like a page and a half. Then there's other stuff before it now. I mean, I embed the whole thing.
Yeah.
It's a normal one.
Yeah.
So I get it and I print it out and I print a bunch of them out and I go and I pass out a few of them. And I put one on the bulletin board. And I kick back. And then I walk around with like a copy and I go to a couple of Puerto Rican guys and I go, did you guys see this? Can they do this? What do you mean? What is I go, I don't know, bro. There's something about Puerto Rico. What is it? I don't read that. What does it say? The guy goes, hold on, Cox, let me. He starts reading it and he's like,
He loses it.
they can't do this, man. They can't do this. That's bullshit. They can't, They get nuts. He goes, can I have this? I'm like, yeah, I'll print out another one. It's cool. He takes it. He goes and copies it. Next thing you know, next thing you know, listen, the next day when I come back from the library, there's like 10 of them in a fucking huddle, passing it out, reading. Guys fucking reading it.
God.
And they are just flipping the fuck out. I got a friend named, the most generic name you'll ever, Juan Sanchez. Is that the most generic fucking Spanish name?
That's the most generic fucking
close,
Puerto Rican
yeah.
name ever.
No, he's actually from Honduras or something. But yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
really?
Spanish name, yeah, Juan Sanchez. So Juan comes to me one day and he goes, "Hey, Cox, you hear about this fucking thing? This letter or this article that was in the New York Times?" I go, "No, what was it?" He starts telling me about it. And I go, and I start kind of laughing. He goes, "Oh man, people are freaking the fuck out." And I start laughing. I'm like, And he goes, "What's so funny?" I go, "Oh God," I said, because I get into a lot of trouble.
Right.
Think about it. The COs saw that, and they'd be fucking furious. They'd
Right,
throw
they'd
me.
be
They'd be like,
pissed off.
"Shit me, who knows?"
Right.
But I'm having such a good time listening to people flip out. All the Puerto Ricans are in a fucking frenzy. So he's telling me how they're going nuts. He's like, I don't think they can do that. Man, these guys are flipping out. The Puerto Ricans are all going to their case managers and shit, going, talking in the, I'm being released. Where am I going to get released? I'm supposed to go to halfway house. What's going on? I mean, freaking out. They're all, the fucking counselors are looking shit up. The whole prison's going nuts. I start laughing. I go, I'm going to tell you something, bro, but I swear to God, I said, you cannot tell. Don't tell your friend because he'll tell somebody and they'll, no, I'm good. And I tell him what happens. He's like.
You tell him you made it up?
I tell him I made it up and he goes, that's fucking brilliant. That's brilliant. He goes, how many more copies can you make? I mean, you understand, if you went to the copy machine for the next fucking 5-6 days, the Puerto Ricans were there making 5 copies, 10 copies. They had a guy go in the Unicorn make fucking 100 copies, and they were everywhere. No. I'm standing in a line in the chow hall, every line, listening to the white guys talk about it. Fuck them. I hope they all fucking go back.
Oh, my God.
And the fucking Puerto Ricans are all screaming and how they just were in an absolute frenzy.
Fake news.
It was hilarious. Guys, and Juan he said, here's what's really funny. And I go, what? He goes, you want to know what's really fucked up? He said,
that's the real fake news.
He goes, I've had 40 Puerto Rican guys pull me aside and say, listen to me, I cooperated. I can't go back to Puerto Rico. Mm-hmm. They'll kill me. And Juan goes, you could file for, what do they call it when it's not extra, it's when you're like a communist and you come to the United States and you file for
asylum.
Yeah. He goes, I can't believe I couldn't remember. He goes, you could file for asylum. And he goes, I'm telling people they can file for asylum. And we're like laughing. I go, you need to be charging for that shit. Tell them you called your lawyer. Your lawyer will charge $1,500, but you can get the paperwork and do it for $100 in commissary. He goes, man, he said, I couldn't fit all the commissary in my locker if I started.
Oh my God.
It took about a week and a half before they'd all called their families so much, and their families had all searched the internet, and it finally filtered in that, look, something's wrong. We can't find this on the internet. It's not true.
And they don't figure out it's you?
Yeah, no, nobody ever figured out it was me. Oh, I didn't say anything. I was really nervous. Like Pete found out. I told Pete eventually, because Pete comes to me and Pete's like, man, these guys are going fucking nuts, bro. Have you heard about this? He goes, I keep telling him that it's not possible. He goes, it would take a decade to get that through. He goes, I don't think it would ever go through. So he's like looking at it from a legal standpoint.
Right. Yeah.
He's like, I can't imagine. He goes, it's probably going to go in front of the Supreme Court. And there's no way the Supreme Court's going to allow. And I'm sitting there going, I'm like, Pete, listen, I got to tell you something. He goes, what? I tell him, he goes, that's not funny, man. These guys are flipping out.
They're losing it.
Yeah. He goes, you understand? He said, they're all concerned because they cooperated. And I go, oh, I know.
Like, I'm sorry, I was having a bad night.
Yeah, I did. I thought, I couldn't help it, Pete. There was like fucking 10 of them, and there were 5 guys or 6 guys or 10 guys in front of my unit. I was upset. And he's like, what are you doing? This is foolishness. You're causing panic. Because you're going to go to the shoe. You're going to get shipped. And I'm like, no, I'm not. It's like you and Sanchez knows. That's it. He's like, Jesus Christ, what are you doing?
That's hilarious, dude.
Good lucky Sanchez ain't saying nothing.
No, yeah. Sanchez, he ended up getting, he has, that's like another, I told you like I've got all these little stories that are out there.
Yeah.
He should be getting out of prison soon here.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. He's got an amazing story. He's laundering money for the Venezuela government who's doing drugs. They're laundering drug money. He's laundering drug money for them. He gets caught. Actually, at one point, he lost a bunch of their money. So he loses like $500,000 or $1 million, something ridiculous. He flies over there to meet with them. These are people in the government. To meet with them, to explain to them, listen to me, I'm sorry, here's what happened, I fucked up, I lost the money. Like he's investing it in something. And he lost it, and I'm sorry. What can we do to get the money back? So he's trying to talk to them. They basically kidnap him. They keep him in like a motel room for like a week. He sneaks out, gets to the airport, and flies back to the United States. The story is, when he tells it, it's riveting because literally he gets to, like the guy's holding him, they bring a couple of prostitutes in. And so they're all having sex with the prostitutes. They get drunk and fall asleep. He gets on one of the guy's computers, sends an email to his girlfriend, tells his girlfriend, I am going to the airport. You have to have me on the next flight. You have to pay for the flight. and get me out. He said, you've got to pay for it. When I get there, it has to be paid for. I have no money. You have to pay for it. He goes, it's like fucking 1 o'clock or something in the morning. He goes, and I'm literally telling them, I'm going to try and sneak out. You have to have a ticket waiting for me. He goes, I don't get a response. I don't have a chance to get a response email.
You just go.
I just go. He goes, I sneak out. I get into a fucking cab. I go. He said, when he's leaving, one of the prostitutes laying on the bed, she watches him creeping out. He goes to close the door and he sees her and she's staring right at him and she goes, go. Like, go. Like, she knows something's up. He sneaks out, closes the door, goes there. He said, I get up to the counter and I go, my name's so-and-so, such and such. They're like.
Hoping there's a flight for him.
She goes, okay, you've got a ticket. Hold on. Prints it out, gets on the thing.
No.
Calls the girlfriend from the air phone. Like, calls the girlfriend and he's like, listen.
We're getting on a flight.
I'm on the plane. He's like, I don't know if it's going to make it out of airspace. If these guys wake up, it's the government. They'll make phone cold call. They can turn you
Shut
around.
the plane
Oh, yeah, turn the plane right around.
So he's like, I don't know. He said, look, when they said they had left, like they were leaving the airspace and they were here in international waters or whatever, he said, man, I was sweating bullets. He's got this, that's not the only thing. He's got like 3 other parts of that story that are just all international shit. Like literally the CIA ends up showing up. They come in as FBI.
Yeah.
He's been interviewed by the FBI. Then 2 days later, 2 more FBI show up. They go, hey, so-and-so, FBI, we need to ask you some questions. They asked me a whole another series of questions that are similar to the other questions. He goes, but they know other stuff, and they're asking me about other people. He goes, I didn't realize that the people I was dealing with were so important. Turns out then his lawyer comes in, and he tells him about the other guys that came, the other FBI agents that came in. Then the lawyer calls the FBI, and the FBI goes, did he see badges? They go, they weren't FBI. And his lawyer says, that's fucking CIA. He goes, are you serious? He goes, did you see badges? He goes, well, no, but I didn't ask for badges. They got into prison. Not that they couldn't have provided FBI badges, but he's like, holy shit, because they're asking about, he's dealing with guys that are like generals, guys that are like top dog. If I told you his whole story, you would be it is so hilarious. You know how he raised money? He raised like $40,000 for his lawyer.
How?
Facebook.
GoFundMe.
Yeah, he goes on Facebook. Well, I think it's just I think the way he explained it, I didn't know much then.
Oh my God.
He literally he had been locked up for like 6 months. They're telling him he's getting like 30 years. He contacts his girlfriend. He says, look, and she tells him all the time, look, people are asking where you are there, because he's such a nice guy, man. He's really a great guy. And like people are going crazy. They're asking me where I am. What do I tell them? And she's like, some people know that you're in jail. What do I tell them? So he goes, I need you to send out this right now, because I met this lawyer. He can help me. He wants 40 grand. I don't have it. He goes, so I need you to send this out. He said, and he tells them, everybody, look, I've been doing this, been laundering money, doing this. Some of you guys know me. He goes, everybody knows me. He said, they've taken all of my money. They've taken all my properties. They've taken everything I have. He goes, and now they're going to take the only thing that I was holding on to, which was my pride. I need $40,000 to get a lawyer to help me get out, not so that I don't get a 30-year sentence. I don't care if you can send me $5, send it. If you can send me $1,000, send it. I'm begging you to send me anything you can to help me get this lawyer. And he leaves the lawyer's address and number and everything. He said about $20,000 to $30,000 showed up at the lawyer's office. Guys are doing fundraisings. People are going through and telling other coworkers about him and what an amazing person is. People are giving him $20, $50, $40. The lawyer finally comes back and says, listen, open a PayPal account or something. Because I'm getting checks in for $15. I'm getting checks in for $7. I'm getting checks in for $50, $100, $12.
Right.
He goes, you got to open a PayPal.
It's more work. It's more work to cash all these checks.
Costs too much cash in checks, yeah.
He raised it's like 40 or 40. He raised the $40,000 or $45,000.
Wow.
In about a month and a half.
Amazing.
Fucking
Who killed
amazing.
it?
The girlfriend still comes to see him. I'm telling you right now, no girlfriend or wife hangs out with you for when you get like 15 years. And he got like 15 years. He got it cut. And he did like 6 or 7 years probably. So he's getting out now. He's probably 6 or 7 years, I'll bet he ends up doing. She was down the whole time, coming to see him. The whole thing. Listen, not only is she an amazing person to be that dedicated to him, but you have to be a phenomenal person. And the guy he is one of the best guys I've ever met.
Yeah.
Just you, and maybe it's because he's a con man, but you immediately like him. He's just super. Everybody loves Juan.
Really?
Yeah. And here's the thing: born in fucking
In Coleman, right?
well, he got moved to an ICE facility, right? To that's the immigration.
Immigration, yeah.
Oh.
Those facilities are horrible. He said like the first or second day he was there, some guard got thrown over like a balcony, was thrown off the balcony. I mean, these guys are stabbing each other. They're attacking the guards. It's vicious.
Holy
and he's in there, a non-violent guy who owned a couple of businesses, and he's like, yeah, he's but he should be getting out soon.
Are you still in contact with him?
No, but I know a girl that knows him.
Okay.
And she's actually the girl. Remember I say my assistant?
Yeah.
She was the girl that was helping me on the street, like do research.
Right, got it.
Right, she's one of them.
Okay.
Through him. So I don't talk to him because first of all, they don't have.
You can't talk to him, but
Well, it's not that. It is that I can't, but also the only way to contact him is through. They don't have the core link system there, so I would have to write a letter, and
Right.
I'm a lazy shit.
Yeah. Got it.
I'm a bad friend. I think we've established that. I've got some.
You're not
flaws.
as good of a guy as he is.
Yes. He's the kind of guy that. Yeah, he's a much better person.
Right.
And she's told me multiple times because I call her and say, "Hey, how's he doing? This and that." She's like, "You could write him a letter." And I'm like, "Yeah, I know." She goes, "You know what, Matt? You could even write an email and send it to me, and I could mail it to him." And I'm like, "Okay, I know
That's
I'm
so
a
much
shit.
work.
I know I'm a shit. Okay."
Yeah, but people in there like that, man.
Huh,
That passes the time for them.
What are you guys? What
Right?
are you doing? What are you doing?
Right? It does,
Are
though.
you guilting me?
You trying to
No,
guilt
I'm
trip
just
him?
saying, right?
I mean,
That's what they like
I'll
in there,
write
man.
him a letter.
Yeah, you
I will
should,
write
man.
him a
Write-
letter.
write
I
your boy a
love
letter.
Juan. Everybody loves
Write Juan a
Juan.
letter, man.
We're gonna get. I want to get
Juan's
Juan
waiting
on.
for a
Now
letter.
Now I'm a shit. I can't.
We're gonna get Juan on the podcast.
No,
Oh,
I didn't
listen.
say all that.
If Juan told you
But-
a story, and he's a great story.
Is he?
Here's the thing.
Is he a good
too.
talker? Oh, he's
Oh
a
my
con. Is a
God.
con man. Of course he is.
Of course he is.
Yeah.
Not just that. Extremely charismatic, and he's got the whole Latin thing going on.
Oh yeah, it's beautiful.
Women love him.
Yeah.
Funny, charismatic, charming.
Latino.
Got a little bit of an accent.
Yeah.
He's.
Got a big fucking chain.
Who comes to see their boyfriend? They're not even married. I mean, guys that are married, their wives aren't coming to see. Unless you're filthy rich, you're done.
Yeah.
That makes me think there's something in it for her. What's she sticking around for, really?
I don't know.
Charm.
Well, I'll
There's
tell you one
something.
thing.
No, ain't nobody sticking around for
keeps-
charm for
well,
15 years. No fucking
No, it's not
way.
15 years. It's not 15
No
years.
woman, that's for sure.
He said 6 or 7, right?
Yeah, it's probably 6 or
They
7
ain't
because he got
sticking around for 2 years.
Not for
Oh,
you, but maybe for
absolutely.
Juan.
Not for nobody with charm.
Well, and to me, that's what I keep saying.
He's got
I'm
a
like,
great
"Do you have-
personality."
you have money, kid?
Please,
Do you have
you're
money?"
fucking blind
And he's like,
as
"No, I
fuck.
don't know what it is. I don't know. She's a good person." And
No
plus,
way.
he's also spinning her too that she's thinking he's getting out any time because he hadn't got his sentence. He's like, "I'm waiting. They're doing it." He's thinking he's going to walk out of jail. He didn't walk out of jail. They cut his sentence, but he didn't walk out. He didn't get as much as he thought. So he should be walking out any day. And I see, I got to fucking call. What's her name?
Now you
That was a
gotta
wonderful.
follow
That was a wonderful podcast. Let's wrap this shit up and go eat.
Yeah.
It's 11 o'clock. The only place open is Taco Bell, so I hope you don't mind Taco Bell.
Do they have a?
They don't have
waffle?
salad. They have
What about
taco
Waffle
salads.
House? What about Waffle
Oh,
House?
you want to go to Waffle House?
Fucking love Waffle
I
House.
love Waffle
I love
House.
a greasy spoon.
Hell yeah, we're going to Waffle House.
Bacon. I like bacon.
I'm glad
and
you
eggs.
said that. I forgot about Waffle House. I've been there in a while.
Love Waffle House.
Hell yeah. Well, thanks for joining us on another great podcast.
Thanks,
think-
Matt.
This one?
Yeah, fuck yeah, this one, not the last one.
Listen,
This
and
one.
you know what's so funny?
Hey, by the way,
I could go with
subscribe
another- yes,
to Matt's.
subscribe.
He's not
Oh,
doing this
yeah,
for free,
we gotta
right?
plug,
I'm not
we
doing
gotta
this.
plug.
We're trying to fucking get Matt monetized on YouTube, and he
Yes.
needs how many hours do you need?
4,000. I got like
4,000 watch hours.
400 and something.
Go
right now.
fucking spend the rest of your day watching his videos on YouTube because he won't get fucking monetized until he gets 4,000 watch hours. He's already got enough subscribers. He already got 1,000
Yeah,
subscribers.
I got,
What's
I got
YouTube?
2,000.
2,000 now.
And here's
What's
the
the
thing too.
YouTube?
What's your YouTube channel called?
Oh, it's called Inside True Crime.
So you can't search
Inside
Matthew
True
Cox.
Crime.
You got to search
Inside
Inside True Crime. That's how you get it to rank
It's
number
got
one.
my picture, like
Yeah. You got
Anyway,
that fucking
But you know what's so funny is
suave picture on there.
yeah, I'm putting 2 more. In the next week or so, I should have 2 more podcasts put on, or 2
Okay.
more of the
Audiobook.
Audio
audio books.
Yeah, yeah.
I call them a book because they're only like an hour,
Yeah,
hour and
yeah,
a half
yeah.
long. So I got 2 more of those.
Yep.
Frank Amadeo's is on there now.
Yep.
I got like 3 or 4 of them on there right now.
Yep.
I got 9 Days in the Congo, which everybody was fucking going nuts over.
Were
wanting
they?
To see. Man, it's already got like 500-600 subscribers. It's been up like a day or 2.
Wow. They're loving the fucking
Well, you get to
Amadeo.
see Frank. You get to see him in action.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm gonna have 2 or 3. So really, in the next fucking 2 weeks, I should have another. Well, probably I'll have another 2 or 3 of those on. So I'm getting them all done. It's gonna be. It's good. It's good stuff.
Go check out Matt's YouTube channel. Subscribe to that shit. Watch
Got
it for hours.
I want more cocks. No homo.
I want more cocks in my life. Sick.